from the Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, Logan Hurston, and today I'm joined by my two favorite co-hosts in the world. First off, the gimmick killer, Cooper Prater.
I would like to take this time to formally apologize to Samoa Joe for all the previous times in my life when I was lacking.
And my other co-host, standing at 7'10", the tallest man in New York. He is a giant, Jack Dudley.
Live from New York, it's Strongest Style.
Whoop whoop. That is true for part of the world.
Man, we're gonna lose him. He's gonna pick up a new job as Mamdani's bodyguard.
This is like a WrestleMania. When they did WrestleMania, was it 2 or 3? Where they did it like 3 different places. We got one in Auburn, one in sunny Marion, Alabama, and NYC, of course.
Yeah, I don't. I'll say this about Mamdani. I've had two halal plates while I've been here. One of them was $10, but one of them was $8.
Let's go.
The progress is already being made.
You think Mamdani went to Newark, New Jersey to watch Full Gear? Some people were saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I sent you that.
Yeah, okay, you did. I wasn't sure if it was you sent me. It all flows together.
People were saying, and it was Cooper.
People were saying those people were Cooper.
Many people were saying that.
Welcome back. This is a shorter week for us, but there's so much to talk about. We got Full Gear happening last night. I currently have Samoa Joe and Hangman about to start whooping each other's tails in the background. My dad did listen and hear the shout out last week, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, I heard your podcast.
With the swearing.
Oh, not me.
Not you
guys. You guys are fine.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna meet his dad again, probably.
What's funny is he's probably only going to hear the first 5 minutes, so that's the only part he's going to hear of like this episode.
Oh, that's funny.
Because I was like, he doesn't know anything about wrestling, so I'm like, I'm very curious about like, well, he knows a little bit. He has his stuff.
I was about to say, you're his son. He better know a little.
No. He was telling me how much WCW is better than WWE the other day, and why like how much he liked WCW more. So he's kind of based.
Yo, your dad knows ball.
He was
That's
like,
crazy.
They actually wrestled in WCW. You know, they just had. And
he's right. And he's so right.
You know what? You know what wrestler specifically he complained about that why he didn't like WWE? I want you to guess.
Who? Wait. Okay. So I'm guessing like Attitude Era.
Attitude Era, yes.
Like his thing.
It was not a main eventer. It was like a mid Carter.
Val Venus.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like
he
they
sucks.
had like the
I
poor
hate Val
guy
Venus too.
and the other one. I'm like, yeah, Val Venus sucks, bro. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw Juventud
dad.
Guerrera.
That's
like,
insane.
That's
Your
my
dad
guy.
Has stumbled into the right opinions on professional wrestling just through osmosis. Awesome.
But yeah, we had Full Gear. We had Showdown and Carry 2, the final DPW show before 4th anniversary, which is the final DPW show. And World Tag League started.
Yeah, it did.
I have seen clips. I see that Hiromu and David Finlay are the greatest tag team of all time.
They were a whole lot of fun, yeah.
I'm going to need you to verify that.
I will. I will get to it. That was the most recent match. You want to just jump right into it then?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right. Yeah. No. We did kickstart World Tag League. That was on the 20th of November on Thursday. Then the second show, the B Block opener, was on Saturday, 2nd of November. They opened in Corkin. Sold out crowd, 1498. That hasn't been happening all the time. But it's good to see. I think I'm so excited for the time going into it. But they can hold that momentum is up to y'all. The answer is probably not. But we're praying for it.
It's going to happen, Jack. You got to have some hopium here, man.
That's exactly.
Just remember, Gato is still there. He's still there.
Okada and Takeshita will probably have wrestled by then in the C2, so hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully that's sort of over, at least on a downturn. We'll see what happens. I don't really. I just wish that it didn't affect it at all. But they are both on the card, so we'll have to see what happens. The A block opened up with Oleg and Yano versus the team of El Desperado and Shuji Ishikawa. Um,
Oh, my
Desperado,
boys.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like I told y'all earlier, I haven't gotten much of I hadn't had much of an introduction to Ishikawa before, so it was fun getting to see him in this. He's a big, strong guy. He's a little bit less tall than I thought, but that doesn't really matter when you see the mass he's packing, you know?
He is
Yeah.
a force.
It's like Ishii. I mean, he's not a big guy, but just
Well,
mass.
Yeah.
he's tall, but I thought he was going to be like a giant, sort of like an Oscar or a Fale giant, which wasn't the case. Regardless, it was a lot of fun seeing him and Oleg tear it up, obviously. Desperado came out wearing a t-shirt to hide this back injury that I guess he's developed. Um, I don't know when that happened. I don't know if it was on one of the indie shows he does or just working out, but there was somewhere he was going to be pulled from the tour. He was pulled from a Freedom's show, I believe, but he made it in. Him and Ishikawa are in. They're just going to be working the injury this entire tour. Yano was stomping on it. Oleg was slamming him. They were really making a big deal out of it. Match ended with actually Yano and Oleg picking up the win. I didn't. They picked up the win. I didn't remember this at all. I don't know how you could possibly remember this, but the commentary was saying that apparently they did really well last year and were in like the final deciding match with Naito and Hiromu before the final. I don't think anyone cared enough about Tag League last year to remember that, but I guess they're a well booked team in that case. So Yano picked up the win. Yano got a quick low blow on Ishikawa while Ishikawa had Oleg in like a world's strongest slam position, and they did a quick roll up and got the dub to open up the tournament. Um, then we go to the second match in A block, Fale and Evil versus Owens and Yujiro. The HOT explode like they do in every tournament, so it's not that big a deal anymore. But it was a lot of fun with the thing we talked about. I guess it would be last week in like show order, but really just a couple days ago when the whole thing that happened in Purge Night. They were referencing all that. There were still tensions in the house. I don't think it'll end up being
Oh,
like
it is canon then.
Yes, it was fairly
Yes.
canon. Yujiro is still being bitched out and shat over. I don't think it will be an ongoing storyline, but it was fun for the night. There was a lot of shenanigans by the end. After the ref bump, there was a fun spot where Kanemaru came out, and then it was like, who is he gonna?
I'm
Is
a
he gonna
big
help
fan of the faces that Logan is making. I'm sorry, Jack.
her? I've not watched.
Samoa Joe is a tomato on my screen. There, you can't see his skin. It's just full
Yes.
blood.
No,
Oh my
you're-
god.
Uh,
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Logan is actively watching the main event of Full Gear. That's why we opened with Japan this week.
let it never be said that we don't prepare ahead of time for this
It's
show.
a 4-hour pay-per-view. You know, I was with family. You know, I couldn't. I tried to watch it last night, but only one person could watch it at a time. So I was like, I'm not
I
gonna
didn't
kick
even-
Cooper off. You know.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, because
I
I
didn't
went to
even
join
try,
the middle of the
so-
show, and it was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you said you were in New York today, I'm like, yeah, that man did not watch Full
Right,
Gear,
no
and I
fucking
don't
way.
blame him. Yeah, no way. No shot.
But so Kanemaru came out and they were playing it up like, who's he gonna pick? But what they ended up doing was Kanemaru took a swig of the whiskey and then swallowed it, and then he started passing it around to all the boys. They were all taking drinks, and then the whiskey made its way to Evil. And Evil acted like he was going to join in, but then he spit the mist in Owen's eye.
Yes.
And
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Owens, in his blinded stupor, accidentally DDT'd Yujiro thinking it was Evil. And then Fale came with a big elbow on Yujiro's back. And then Evil locked in the Darkness Scorpion, and it was over. So Fale and Evil won the match due to blinded Chase Owens.
I mean, that makes sense. They're going to win Tag League. Look at my status, bro. Am I lying?
Wait, let me see. It says, okay, to everyone, all the viewers at home, it says, wait, shit, I can't.
Unless
It says, dude, I don't see a status. Am I
Did
crazy?
it go away? Aw, well. It said Fale and Evil World Tag League winners soon. Was what it
Let
used
it be
to
known.
say.
Okay. This match was fun. It was just a short, 7 minute. They didn't overstay their welcome, and it was a good time. Up next we had Kojima and Taichi. I guess you could call them reunited Kojima-gun versus Bishamon.
Oh yeah,
the,
I totally
semi-main.
forgot about that.
Yeah, they've been actually playing that up, like whether or not they can trust each other because of the betrayal back in fucking 2007 or whenever it was. So that's really old lore for you. But this was great. This is really great. It's a bunch of old fucks throwing lariats around. But it rocked. And Taichi and Kojima got the, I guess you could say, shock win. But at this point, like, anyone who watches New Japan tournaments regularly can hardly call it that because this is how it always goes.
Well, yeah, and like also, I mean,
Yeah.
Taichi has always been such a consistent, like, great tag wrestler.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, with any partner, whether it's Ishii or Zack or whatever, like, he just melds so quickly with whoever he's teamed with.
That's definitely true. It's almost like a superpower because he really does get the timing right with everyone, and he props up everyone he's with too. It was nice seeing Goto and Hosh back together after Goto's little singles run. Even though I said I think last week that I hope that Goto gets like to be upper mid card for the foreseeable future. I don't want him to just go back to being a tag team, but I do like this tag team. I like seeing them do the war drums, doing their moves together again after sort of a year of not doing that very often. Kojima and Taichi had some fun double team moves too. They hit a really sweet, lariat, Yukon lariat mix, or northern lariat. I mean, where they both hit them from either side, and then Taichi was able to get Black Mephisto and pick up the dub in 12 minutes 30 seconds. And then for that night one main event, we got Kid and Tsuji versus Maloney and Takagi, and this was really good. This was probably, I don't know, both the main events were really good, but I think this one edges out KOB versus Finley Hiromu just a little bit. I really, really love this match. It really, no, I was going to sound stupid because I know how y'all feel about Drilla. I'd even like to make fun of Kid, but it really felt like 4 stars in this match. Yeah.
Do you know how we all feel about Drilla?
I thought we all kind of I guess not. Maybe we do all like Drilla. I was
Because
actually
I'm gonna hit that Drilla, right? All right? Look,
Right.
Don't talk to me.
Okay.
I've always liked the
enough.
Drilla Killa. It's the greatest move in professional wrestling.
Okay.
It's New Japan Twitter who hates Drilla. That's who it is.
I guess I am.
That's true.
I am kind of confounding the three of us with like the general consensus. What I was going to say was actually, like, the main point I was going to make for this match is that Maloney and Takagi, like, it's just one match, but they were fucking great. I don't know if either of y'all have watched it yet. I don't think you have because no one's really piping in.
I've not watched.
Yeah, go ahead, Cooper.
I've not watched the match or any clips from it really, but I did see their post-match interview.
Yeah.
And they seem to really get on. And
It seems,
it's pretty funny.
It seems like they're legit. I mean, you can never tell with wrestling, but New Japan's always a bit more realistic. And like you said, are a bit more true to life with the promos. And like you said, Cooper, they seem like, like they legitimately enjoy each other's company. You can always tell when it's just for storyline in New Japan because they do seem fucking uncomfortable, like what's happening with United Empire right now. Drilla and Shingo legit seem to really like each other, and they get along really well in the ring. They mesh really well there. I think I've said before, I criticize Shingo for doing the same match all the time, and, it's a good match, but I think that is true of him. I think it works a lot better in this tag team scenario where the excitement can come from the tag outs and the timing of it all, and he can do he can play his hits without having to stand alone in the ring for like 25 minutes or however long. I think it worked really well. And Kid and Suji were good too. They're both, over the top characters in their own way. They both got the star power, the larger than lifeness. So it was fun to see them together for this tournament. Kid did take the pin, which made me smile. I hope this is the consistent thing. Kid also, I didn't actually watch the segment that he had with Death Riders recently, so I didn't realize how much he'd slimmed down lately. Have y'all noticed this too?
Yeah.
He looks a lot thinner.
It was kind of strange seeing him in Blood and Guts is when I noticed it, and I mean he's going, I think, for just sort of a different like style of presentation.
I agree.
Which could benefit him depending on I mean if he's going to jump ship to the States full time. I think maybe having a distinct sort of like break between New Japan Kid and AEW Kid might be useful to him, but I don't know. But it's strange to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't want to get into like the realm of speculation too much because none of us know the guy. None of us really have any idea what's going on in his life. But I know Kid was always a guy who seemed like he really brought a lot of authenticity to his character, borrowed a lot from his real life for his character. And I know too that Kid has spoken a lot since about a little less than half a year ago about being a bit of an alcoholic and quitting alcohol. And I do wonder if that has had some effect on the way he wants to present himself, because I'm sure that like wild animal side of Kid is maybe something that he doesn't want to showcase anymore now that he isn't. Yeah, I like I said, I'm just speculating, but it's something that I've thought about since he won that global title and went to AEW and has become a little more subdued. I wonder how much of that is real life versus how much of that is a character, choice, or both. I'm sure it's both. I know Kid's a smart man; he knows what he's doing. Yeah,
that's an interesting take on it that I hadn't considered. But, I mean, I can absolutely see that. We had a very similar situation with John Moxley in AEW.
That's kind of why I bring it up.
Yeah, after his sobriety, I think that he took a very distinct sort of character shift in his work in the ring too.
Yeah. To kick off the second night, we had Monster Sauce returning. Well, I guess they returned really in the preview tag the 2 nights before, but returning for the block match against Sonata and Narita. This was really just a lot of crowd brawling, which is fun. I know it's important to get them riled up and whatnot, but it was a good time. I really like Monster Sauce. They're so fun. I wish so bad that either one of them, not even just in New Japan, I just wish either one of them did more in wrestling, because they're both periphery wrestlers. Zayn more so because he hardly even shows up anymore. I think he's just got a hella light schedule, but I like them a lot as a team. Archer's always so fun in Japan. People always love to talk about how he interacts with the crowd, and that was true here. This match ended with them hitting their finisher. It's just Archer doing the blackout on Zayn onto a wrestler, so it's like him putting him into a swanton. But it's good, and they won that match in 9 minutes. It was another short one. Then we got Newman and Okan versus Zack Sabre Jr. and Oiwa. This was a really good match. Actually, the top three from night 2 are all really good. We'll get to that in a second. But this one was really good. Like I've said recently, Newman's got this new edge sort of going on. It's really bringing a lot to his matches. Whether or not it's actually a developing story or just something he's trying to do, it's working for him. And it's really exciting seeing him lay in the kicks and also have more, fury behind what he does. It was funny, too, because the way the commentators are playing it off, so I guess just is the storyline. Newman didn't want to even fucking wrestle for the first half of the match. It took him a while before he even came around to getting in the ring. Like, he got up on the apron and then sort of, once he realized Oil was getting in first and not Zach, he kind of just blew it off for a really long time. until he kind of randomly attacked Zach in the corner. So that's interesting. Besides that, it was a really good, fast-paced, and heated bout. I really like Zach and Oyo as a team too. I don't want to leave them out. I think they work really well together. And if Zach is going to stay out of the main event scene for a bit, I think it would do Oyo a lot of good for this team to stick around. Maybe get to a point where if they do a multi-man match for the tag titles this year, I'd love to see them included, or just keep tagging for a while for the first half of next year. It was really good. Zach won with a jackknife pin on Okan, and then United Empire kind of just sort of sullenly walked out. Newman didn't check on Okan or anything. He just got the fuck out of there as soon as the pin happened. Once again, you can make of that what you will. Who knows if this is leading somewhere or if it's just real frustrations being aired out. It's just how it goes in New Japan these days. Semi-main of night 2 was El Phantasmo and Tanahashi versus Umura and Umino. I don't really have a lot to say about this. Like I said, it was really good, and I think Umino and Umura are a lot better together. Well, Umura is really good. Everyone knows he's good, but I think at least, some people don't agree, I think he can be a little bland sometimes, not in ring, just as a character, and I think Umino. Sorry.
I do agree with you. I think he struggles sometimes when he's not in like a very clearly defined sort of like heel face dynamic kind of match. That's where I think he shines a lot because his babyface like work is I think really great.
Yeah.
But when he is in like whether it's just big multi-man tags or even like higher profile singles matches with other characters who are a little less defined than that, I think he has a hard time kind of getting like the nuances in.
I totally agree with that. And that's why I'm saying I think this partnership is good for him, because we rag on Umino, everyone does, for a multitude of things, and most of them, are very, very valid. But one of the strengths...
He shit up the Tokyo Dome main event that I went to.
One of the worst ever. Yeah, no fucking doubt. I do not like the man very much as a wrestler, but one of his strengths, I think, is in his connections with like his allies in Hantai. I think his friendship with ELP and his friendship with Tanahashi they were going with for a good half of last year was like, I wouldn't say compelling because it wasn't interesting, but it was like it brought some heart to the character, it brought some realism to it. And I think dragging Umura along with that is a positive for him, and I think Umino being in the ring with a with a, dare I say, more competent wrestler is good for him. So it works both ways. In the main event, we had what Logan talked about earlier, a really, really good main event. The KOB versus Hiromu and David Finlay, and KOB took their first loss since returning. But they were kept strong. Finlay got a fucking roll up on the KOB. It was really...
That's the boss dog, baby.
I know. Dude, it was fucking great. Finlay has steadily... And we've talked about this because it's funny how this has happened, where Kid was becoming this sort of anti-hero babyface for a little while there, and then he went away to do the AEW stuff, and people were like, and then he took G1 off, and then people were really like... who even is this guy anymore? Like, it feels like the crowd connection is really lost with Kid, and I'm not saying that to be, an asshole, like AEW hater. I'm just saying, genuinely, people just aren't as fired up about him as they were at the start of the year. That's not debatable.
No, you are right. I mean, it was still there for like a little bit after. Like, I remember, I think it was the Dominion match
yes.
with Tsuji. And I heard some people being like, oh, the crowd sucks, they're not into him anymore and all that. But they were pretty loud for like the big finishing stretch there. But like, I think you hit the nail on the head. Post G1,
I think it was the G1.
that was so egregious.
Yeah.
Like I could not even, even as diehard, AEW guy here, and who thinks, that Mr. Khan should go ahead and just buy up that little rinky-dink indie that you watch. I think even that was a little much.
It's just like, it's even more than just people feeling slighted. Like, I think it goes beyond people being angry at him for doing it. I think it's just the fact that if you take off the most, exciting and most watched tour of the year, and then I don't think it was on Destruction either. So if you take off 2 months out the year, people will just fucking forget who you are.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I was going to say is that it's funny that's happened to Kid, because Finley has really he's kind of merged his two selves. He's still doing the Savage King, obviously. He's still the leader of Bullet Club, and he's a real monster sort of powerhouse bruiser. But he's also bringing back these aspects of the old, kind of wild, fun-loving David Finley from Finjuice, which is really evident in this team-up with Hiromu, where he's kind of having fun out there at the same time, and the crowd really digs it. He was having a great time tossing Hiromu all over as a weapon. That's their big MO.
Yeah.
That's
all the clips that I saw.
Yeah.
Was just Hiromu being a human bullet that David Finley was firing.
It's a very fun team. And I like the War Dogs. This new sort of face version of War Dogs Unaffiliated, where it's kind of like they just love to fight each other, and there really is no ill will there. It's just like Finley showed no signs in backstage comments of like being sort of a heel, like I'm testing you to make you stronger sort of thing. It was more just he was like laughing with Gato, and he was like, yeah, these are my boys, but we're gonna have a match, and I'm gonna win the fucking match. And that's really all it was, just smiling and laughing. Oscar said before the match in backstage comments, he said, I respect you as my leader, but in the ring, I'm going to kick your ass until you die. And that line stuck with me.
What a guy. What an absolute dude.
Oscar, if y'all ever want to, and you don't have to, I imagine most people would not want to, but if you ever want to like actually follow backstage comments like I do, Oscar is fucking funny. Because he's got that squeaky, German accent voice still, but he says, and he's got the broken English too, so that makes it a little bit
yeah.
even funnier, but he says the most insane shit. It kind of goes under the radar. What?
He's also just like a massive dork.
He's also,
too.
yeah.
He's got that Avatar tattoo.
Oh my god, dude.
It's like, I know what kind of guy you are.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Brother, that's Kevin Kelly's young boy.
But I did, yeah. This was another one. I said it before. Finley, he stole the win, and they sort of, ran away with it. And it's so fun seeing Finley act like this. Hiromu's bringing out really that old side of him, like I was talking about, and I think they're going to be the team to watch.
It is funny at least from what I've seen of this match. I've not been able to watch Tag League. Hilariously, Logan says, I'm going to watch all of World Tag League, and then doesn't watch the first two shows. Like I do with every single Japanese thing every year. I do intend to watch it, and maybe I will catch up.
You don't have to watch every fucking show, dude.
I'm genuinely interested in it. It's just like, it's the timing of like, do I want to watch a 1.5 hour movie, or do I want to watch like 3 hours of wrestling tonight after I drive home? And it's like, I don't know, man. But from what I've seen, like it's funny you say like it's all they just want to beat each other up, but it's all respectful to the end. when I'm watching that Hiromu and Finley team, it looks like Finley just does not care about Hiromu at all and is trying to break him while breaking. I mean, like, you know, there's a lot of times where you'll see like the tag teams, like, and you see it with like Brodito and stuff like that. But Finley is like actively trying to hurt Hiromu as much as he's trying to hurt everybody else.
I'm talking about him with Ice and Oscar.
Well, yeah.
It's definitely true. He is beating the fuck out of her.
You want to go to Noah?
And
nah.
Hiromu is selling it. Yeah. The one where he powerbombed him like outside for the dive was hilarious because Hiromu stayed down for a while.
Hey, look. There's a reason he's
Finley.
There's a reason Finley's the boss dog. You know, if anybody's gonna beat KOB, it's gonna be him.
Mm-hmm. He also he got in Ice's face and did the or throwing the gang signs at one point. Everyone wants to do that shit. Everyone wants to mock it. I've noticed the trend.
Jack, with the first couple days down, then what is your, and it is usually too early to call with, these tournaments, but how do you think this go? I think you, if I remember correctly, you had KOB going, if not all the way, pretty far.
I think they'll get
as champs coming in.
Yes. Now I'm of two minds about it. I think that it could definitely be one of the things I talked about a second ago. It could be one of the things where like a team wins tag league, but they bullshit their way kind of into having a multi-team Wrestle Kingdom match just because I've said before they're kind of struggling to get people on the card. If that doesn't happen, I think Umura and Umino are going to win, and I think they're going to run that back. That's the way I've been feeling for a little bit. But because I think that people really like that match and that feud, and they left a lot on the table. And I don't. The main reason is because I have no fucking clue what Umino and Uemura are going to end up doing otherwise. And everyone else that like is in contention, like Bishamon or ZSJ and Oiwa, I could kind of think like, okay, they might lose this, but I can see how they'll get to a Wrestle Kingdom match. I don't know what those two are going to do unless like somehow they do one of them turning heel, but that seems so ridiculous to me. I cannot imagine that. I think they're either going to win or be in the tag match if it's a multi-team match. But yeah, I think Umura Umino versus KOB is like going to be the feud going into Wrestle Kingdom. We'll have to wait and see though.
I mean, but what do you see? Okay, you say you see other. What do you see ZSJ and Goto doing then? I mean, who cares?
I think Goto actually and Zach. I don't know. I've been thinking Goto and Zach might end up doing like a rubber match, just sort of special singles. But I might just be bullshitting, because there's no real evidence for that. I've just sort of had the idea in my head because they're two top stars that have kind of carried the main event scene this year and had, one win, one draw, one win for the other guy this year. So it's a thought I had.
Yeah, well,
I would not mind that at all.
That'd be awesome. I just always thought, for some reason in my mind, especially after I didn't know what I could see Zach doing. Maybe I could see him maybe doing a thing against. I don't know. It's where do you put him on the card, especially since you're not having the global title. I thought maybe he could.
A lot of people thought Zach. Oh, sorry.
I thought Zach was Phantasmo. Just to throw.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, he's always had a history.
I mean, I don't like
title.
ELP.
Yeah. Well, my thing was like,
there.
I really thought that I feel like Bishamon's gonna win Tag League because like.
Yeah, I know you do, and that's a good pick, too.
It's a bunny match. I mean, you have 3 times winners versus KOB, and you can have KOB beat them. You can have them pin Yoshihashi, and then you can keep Goto in the main event scene, whoever wins at Wrestle Kingdom. But it just felt like if you're going to do a big tag. Now, again, if you want to establish Shota and Yuya as like actual tag contenders and as a tag team, then sure. But I just don't feel that confident that they'll stay a tag team for too long. But maybe I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I don't mean to be hyperbolic or anything.
No, you should be. This is a podcast.
But if Bishamon wins
Go
World
Christ.
Tag League again, I'm gonna do something drastic on this.
But
show.
what if?
it's
Okay,
gonna be
Cooper,
bad.
walk with me. What if in every match?
Hey! I love that you think it's genuinely a good idea to put one of the greatest IWGP champions in recent history back in his little shitter tag team with his little buddy. I think that's great for you. I'm so happy that you get enjoyment from that. In the fact that you can't see that would kill this company dead, and it would be deservedly so. Hey, that's fine, man. It's all just it's your opinion.
Yeah, I guess.
That's so fucking funny.
I guess I'd rather see you yen.
It's true that they've won it. They would be the fourth time. That does kind of make
four
it,
times.
Yeah.
Like, and damn near consecutively. Like, come on, man.
I just mainly.
And World Tag League doesn't have. Oh,
Sorry, go ahead. You got it.
No, it's okay. Is it World Tag League? It's just funny because World Tag League does not have like the really long history that the G1 has. Like, if they do that, they will have won like fucking 1/5 of all of Tag League history.
yeah. We'll have been the winningest tag team in all of Japan history.
I don't know. Yeah, I can see it. My only thing is like, I think money matches for KOB. I think that's more of a money match. Say what you want, Cooper, about how much you hate that tag team, and I understand why.
Oh, I will.
But you can't deny.
I'll keep it going.
You can't deny that they are, like, especially in recent memory, the biggest tag team New Japan has had. So it's like, you establish your new stars by having him pin Yoshihashi. Like, who cares? They win, and Goto gets the pin every single time, and Yoshihashi is knocked out on the floor. Goto takes everyone on 2v1, and then loses because Yoshihashi's a terrible tag team partner. Tell me you wouldn't like that. And then he beats up Yoshihashi, and they never explain it
that shit
again.
is not gonna happen.
You wanna hear something though? When you were like worried about Okada and Takeshita stare off, I got you an even worse idea. If you really think Tony Khan's putting his grubby little fingers all over it, Okada, Takeshita, and then Kyle Fletcher's music gets down, and he gets to stare down as Wrestle Kingdom ends. How would you feel about that, Jack? Because that's a possibility after Full Gear.
That sounds great.
Well, that leads to my next talking point, which is, before we get into Full Gear specifically, the C2 does it start this week, or do we announce the bracket?
Yes, it does. We're getting matches this week, brother.
Woo!
Which I'm going to talk about this on the show. Me and Cooper might be going to DPW. If we don't go to DPW, do we want to go to that Dynamite on the 10th?
If not, that is, I think, a good contingency plan. Yes.
Yeah. Because I was like, look, if we're going to DPW, I'm not going to that Dynamite. But if we're going, I could possibly swing it. But basically, C2 is upon us. Happy holidays. It's the one good thing in wrestling during the full time of the year. It's the one good thing in American wrestling that happens in the holidays, because even if you're a fan of that other corporation, they do nothing during the holidays. It's a known fact. Survivor Series happens, and they phone it in for the rest of the year until January. So, C2's happening. We have 3 confirmed wrestlers in it: Okada, Takeshita, and Fletcher. I want you to fill out the rest of the 9 men.
Ooh.
If you were to
I
pick,
hoped we would do this.
You can do if you were to pick, or you can do.
Wait,
what
sorry,
you
cut out a little
think
bit. Can you
they'll
repeat that for me?
Yeah. You can fill out the C2 with who you would actually pick or what you think they're going to be. It's not like
how many
predictions.
How many competitors are in the Continental Classic every year?
12, and you have 3 confirmed. So you have to use Fletcher, Takeshita, and Okada. And there's an A block and a B block, like
Great. Okay.
G1.
So 6 a block. Okay.
Yeah, 6 through a block.
Cool.
Cooper, do you want me to go first? Or do you want you to go first? I feel like you're more prepared, but I can spitball.
I kind of want to hear your spitball. So yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm putting in A block. I'm putting Okada and Takeshita in that block together, and then B block's gonna have Fletcher.
Interesting.
So I'll go. Let me think of the AEW roster.
I have
here.
the roster page pulled up.
I've also got the roster page pulled up.
Okay, but I'm legit. I'm not looking. I'm just looking at the 6 people that are on the full gear screen right now, which is none of them will be in the C2 except for Fletcher. So, because Mercedes and Stat won't be as much. That's awesome. That was being the world champion or the most recent challenger. Well, and I hope Briscoe won't either. That doesn't make sense. I don't want to do another TNT championship. All right. So we're gonna have.
Since when are the grizzled young veterans in AEW? When did this happen?
They've been there, brother. They're Ring of Honor guys.
Not even.
They
not
came
even Ring of Honor though, man. They haven't been there in like half a year.
No. They've been wrestling with Isla Dawn versus the premier athletes with that new 6-foot girl they have.
Okay.
True Ring of Honor heads would know that. GYV signed to AEW all in, not of this year, but last year when they were in the UK. They came out after the Bucks FTR match and then did absolutely nothing and floundered in like collision for a while.
They had a bad match with FTR, and then Tony was like, I don't know.
Completely killed everything.
That's really hard to do, have a bad match.
And then they got good.
But they're pretty good at DPW.
They became a genuinely great act in DPW.
Okay.
They can be a good act. It's just they're not really fitting into AEW.
Maybe it was the Scouts Deep South language barrier that made it so bad.
Exactly.
All right, but back to it. A block. You got Okada. You're going to have Takeshita. Representing the Ops, we're putting in Powerhouse Hobbs because I want somebody from the Ops. I think we're going to have... who do I want from the Death Riders? I might be bold. I could see Mox being in it and they continue this like losing streak, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think we'll see maybe Claudio or Yuta. One Death Riders representative, probably Claudio. We're getting the big men in that block. What other conglomeration? Roddy's going to be in it because I think Kyle O'Reilly was originally going to be in it. I think we'll have Roddy now. So that's 4 to that block. That's 5. I need one more. We'll throw in... No, we're going to go to B block. I'll think of that last slot in a second. B block, Fletcher. I'm throwing in OC. This is the babyface block. Do they want to throw in their new national champion or not? Is the question. I would think not. I'm going to throw in Shelton Benjamin again. So O'Reilly, Benjamin, OC. Let's throw in... We'll throw in Mox in that block. I think Mox does do it, and he's going to lose a bunch of matches. Mox. God, I'm running out of AEW rosters. I watch the show weekly, and I cannot name more than like 12 competitors. I don't have the roster page pulled up, so don't yell at me. I can't. The problem is I don't know how big. Oh, Eddie Kingston's going to be in the C2. Book it. He'll be in that block too. And then I need one more person for each block. We're going to go A block. We're going to go back to that. We're going to bring in another member that... Do we want to stack? Yeah. No. B block's going to have Josh Alexander. We're going to put Jungle Jack Perry in the A block. And that's your roundabout C2 is... Okada, Takeshita, Powerhouse Hobbs, Claudio, Roderick Strong, and Jack Perry in the A. No. Take out Claudio and put in Pac. And we'll take out Jungle and put in Darby in the A block. Let me switch those around real quick. I forgot that Pac was in the Death Riders.
Pac is,
which is hilarious because he started
super off the in the Death Riders.
He is in fact in the Death Riders. He's super in the Death Riders. Kyle, OC, Eddie, Mox. Who else did I put in here? I've already forgotten. That's my booking. I booked it terribly. See, that's why you don't go off the dome, man. Cooper's going to come in with the most eloquent C2 list, and I'm going to look like an idiot.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of good picks, and you have a lot of the same picks that I have. The first difference, though, between ours is that, first of all, real sickos know that they're not blocks; they are leagues, and they are colored. They are blue and gold. First point of contention there.
That is true.
So unless they change it this year, which I don't think that they will.
They won't.
But so my first real contention, though, regarding the placements is that I think Okada and Takeshita are going to be in separate leagues, and because that is your finals, 110%. Like there's no doubt in my mind that is the finals for this thing. I could probably even tell you who's going to win it, but we'll save that for World's End predictions when that comes around. Fletcher, I think, is probably... I think the meteor story to tell is if Fletcher is in Gold League with Takeshita. And when I say, by the way, when I say put it in gold and blue, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, these can be swept or whatever. But for the purposes of this, he's in the same league as Takeshita. Because they have the, longer backstory together as a team and in the Don Callis family, and seeing them finally have a singles match against one another in this current iteration, I think would be really interesting. So then I'm gonna fill out Blue League with Okada for a minute here. So there are some usual suspect C2 competitors that I would like to see and some that I wouldn't. Mark Briscoe as the new TNT champ, I think, is almost certainly a lock for this. I get the feeling, really likes doing the C2, and he has an instant underdog story pretty much every time, even though he's still champion. But I mean, just like that's the kind of thing that you do with Mark Briscoe. Maybe this gives him a chance, and he by doing this he'll have a match with Okada, he'll have a match with some other people later that I think would really elevate him and establish him as a champion in a way that Daniel Garcia's run last year did not, but also partially that is because Daniel Garcia is the most sauceless wrestler to ever exist, and so he will not be in the tournament this year. I do not want to see that right now. Briscoe I think is set. Claudio also I think is set, but I would have him in the opposite league, and that is your Death Riders participation for gold. For blue, though, I would also like to see Pac involved in that. I was really, really impressed with his performance on the pay-per-view, and I think that it would behoove of them to really start setting him up as a genuine title threat to people, and maybe even a leadership of whatever new form this Death Riders stable takes after Mox, maybe setting him up to do that as well, because I don't know, I just get a vibe from Pac that he would be really great. I mean, I've seen some of his Dragon Gate work with RED. I know he can lead a faction and be really, really charismatic in that role. And Claudio, to me, even though I've seen people say Claudio is the person to do that, which makes sense, but I think just the character of Claudio, so as we've seen so far, he's a zealot, right? He's a follower. Right. He's not a leader.
He's the follower.
Yeah. He is the follower. That's why I think he'll be the one to kill Mox, but he won't be the one to lead.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Eduardo, Eddie, I think absolutely needs to be here. I would put him in Blue League as well. and having a Kingston Briscoe match, just absolutely fills my soul. And I now, granted, that is depending on whether or not Eddie feels up to it, which, depending on how he's still handling things coming back from injury, might not be the case. But I would really love to see it. And it could help him, maybe find a little bit of his mojo again, and put him up there. I would also here have a little bit of ops representation. So I think Hobbs goes here as well. This is now bringing Blue League up to 5. And for the last section of that, I think you need another face to kind of even things out here, because as is the case right now, we've got 3 heels and 2 faces. So to even it up, I actually am going to say, let's do what we did last year and split a tag team. Have a singles guy in here. Let's throw Speedball into the mix, and I just think that would be neat to see what they can do. So then gold, right? So we've already got Takeshita, Fletcher, Claudio, and this is where I will put Roddy Strong. I think that he has been a really consistent presence. I think Cassidy maybe skips out on the C2 this year. Don't hold me to that, but I think that is a possibility. He is, I think, still also, much like Eddie, kind of getting back in the groove of things. But you do need some more conglomeration representation. Here is also where I'm putting in my other, I guess, kind of like a wild card pick, maybe and or maybe not. I'm also putting Shibata in the C2 this year.
Sweet.
Heck yeah! I thought about it, but I was like, wait, I don't. Heck yeah!
Yeah, like that's the like you have these 2 blocks for a reason, man. But yeah, definitely doing that. And also, finally, the person that I think is really going to make the kind of biggest challenge for, I think, your inevitable Gold League finalist in Takeshita, the person that I think he's going to be going neck to neck with in terms of points for this block, I am going going to put Darby Allin in here, because he is a sick guy and really wants to, I think, just throw himself around. Because, like, look, man, he's gonna have matches here with Takeshita, Fletcher, Claudio, Shibata, like, people who are gonna absolutely ragdoll him. So I think that would be really fun.
Oh, is it my turn?
Jack?
Okay, sorry. I was once again afraid that someone's going to walk in, but we're still running strong. Still all alone in here. I have the roster pulled up. Let's see what I can come up with. 6 on each. It's Okada, Fletcher, Takeshita. Okay. I think Okada will be an A block. Red block, right? Blue?
Blue and gold.
Blue and gold.
Is what it is, but
Okay.
you can do A, B, whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, I want to be accurate. Um, so yeah, I'll do Okada the unified champion, head of. Um, did y'all know that? Sorry, did y'all know that the titles actually split? Like they haven't listed as on 3 websites.
Yes,
Yeah.
Is that?
they are continuing the lineage of both of the belts, but
It's very silly. Sorry for a little tangent
it
there.
is. No, I agree.
Anyways, I think Okada. I think like Cooper said. I think Okada and Takeshita will be in separate blocks, and I think Fletcher will be in the goal with Takeshita, so they can do a fun Protostar explode match in that block. Um, as for everyone else, I'll start with Blue. The other five, I'll go with Hangman. I think Hangman will be in there.
Ooh,
I think,
that's a
yeah,
very interesting pick.
I think it's interesting, but I thought through it, and I know I don't watch the show frequently, but I think I'm going to give him, I'm going to give him that for a little break after what we'll talk about in a second. I think it'd be really exciting. I think it'd be a way to keep him with some momentum and not just let him sort of drop dead after, I guess I can just say, dropping the top. I don't know, does Logan even know?
I
Say
imagine.
that
I
again.
mean,
What?
Yeah.
What's your question?
I don't want to spoil the
Sorry,
results
I
of
was.
this match for it.
Oh no, I've
Okay,
seen the
okay.
match,
Then
bro.
yeah, I think he'll get some motivation after dropping the title, which we'll talk about here in a second. Besides that, um, Death Riders, I'll put back in this one. I definitely think they'll be included. I think like me and Guru were talking before. I think he's gonna, even if he doesn't literally take on the ring with Death Riders, I think he will be getting a huge push with the Moxley situation. I think even if he's not like, even if he doesn't become the actual leader, I think he will get like they'll tease it. You know what I mean? I think
mm,
they'll make people think it's something that could happen. Um, how about this? Scrolling through it. I think I'll put Robinson lately.
that's interesting. He was supposed to be in last year and got
Yeah,
hurt.
really, I didn't. I
So
knew he
yeah.
got hurt, but I didn't know he was scheduled before it.
Mm,
He wrestled like one match and then got hurt, and
yeah.
they added in Commander at the last
Yeah,
second.
I'd love to see Juice back in a round robin situation. He's a very fun thing. Besides that, I'll put Hobbs in there to keep the ops the in view, like we talked about. So that's five, I think. It.
Um,
Ye,
We keep
I'm keeping track, man.
Okada, Hangman,
yeah,
uh,
Juice.
choose
Right.
Hobbs. You said
Except
Pack.
Hobbs and Pack. So yeah, one more
Yes.
in blue. I'll go with Ricochet, even though he just won the national championship. I don't think that's something so important that he's not also going to be featured in the Continental this year. Or maybe wait, I didn't put any big pin eaters in that. I guess Juice. Whatever. We're gonna keep it rolling. In the other side, I've already got Fletcher and Takeshita. On top of that, I'm gonna go with Kingston for sure. I think he's definitely coming back to take part in the Continental. He's forever associated with the C2 because of him winning the first one. I could definitely see him being a part of it. I'll put Hechicero in there.
Ooh,
I would love
yeah,
to
that'd
see.
be good.
Yeah, he's been getting featured more and more as part of DCF. I think he'd be a great, addition. I definitely think they'll add one luchador or one CMLL guy in there. And I was
Yeah,
debating whether it'd
probably.
be like Dorada or something. But I think Hejisera makes the most sense just because he's, the one who's actually under the double contract and is featured most frequently. On top of that, I'm going to add Darby for sure. He's someone they will want in there. Um, because he's coming off of all this stuff. And sorry, and I'm being vague. I'm a little zonked. God, good lord.
You're good.
And then so that's four for no. So that's Takeshita, Fletcher, Darby, Kingston, and Hechicera. So that's five. I think the gold block is going to be finished off with the top star in AEW these days, undoubtedly a giant like myself. No more BS. Paul White coming back for one last run, and
That's right, baby.
that's gonna be how we finish it off in gold block.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. While part of the reason I was paying attention, I actually wanted to scroll through Twitter for 5 seconds at AW and come up with an actual C2 list based on not shooting from the dome. So I'm going to run my revised actual quickly. And this is like if I was to book it. I think Okada and Takeshita in the same block, and they're going to tie. They're each going to win. Because some people are saying that they may eliminate each other from the C2 in that case and then like have that blow-up match later. But what I think they're going to do is they're going to each run through their blocks, tie, beat the people, and then have that main event where there's no time limit.
Okay.
I also have Okada, Takeshita, Hobbs. I'm going to add Kingston to that block. I think we're seeing Bandito is going to hold off from the tag titles immediately and both be in the C2. So I have Brodito. I have Bandito on that block. And then I like your Juice Robinson pick. I originally was going to put him in. But the reason I'm not is because Juice and Austin did beat FTR. And I do see them running that back in the next couple months, not waiting too long.
These are the perks that you only get if you watch AEW, which I'm not for.
And so I am gonna stick with the Bang Bang Gang. We need someone to get a pin eater, but someone who also will only improve even by losing to all these big stars. I'm putting Ace Austin in.
Mm. Oh, just a little check-in.
Yeah.
Just a little check-in. And in Gold League, I have Fletcher. I have OC. I think he's gonna finally be in a C2. There's nothing for him to do, and I think it's gonna momentum for him. I have Brody King. This is really face heavy in this block. Brody King, Kevin Knight, not Speedball. I do not have Speedball in my C2 because I couldn't fit both. I wanted to fit both of them, but I couldn't see where I put Speedball in. And I do think they really want to give Knight that rub. I feel like at any point Speedball can heat up, but like they see something in Kevin Knight kind of thing. Roddy Strong and Pac, and I have both Fletcher and Pac probably getting out of the stages there with. It's a very heel heavy C2. It's my prediction.
I mean, there's just a lot of heels in the company right now, so that's
and it feels like there's no like face on like it. Unless you're considering what's Takeshita a face now, which he's not really. I don't know.
Yeah, he's the face in this program.
Yeah, he's definitely the face compared to Okada, but like if you put him in any other program, he'd be the heel.
I was told that Takeshita only wanted to unite the wrestling world. Altruistic goal.
Exactly, yeah, he does. Exactly. What are you talking about, Jack?
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
He's a good striking lad.
Yes. I think that's a good little league that you got there, Logan. So.
Blue League and Gold League, not A block and B block. Dummy. But before we move on to Full Gear, we're gonna quickly run through the penultimate DPW show in the States in Cary, North Carolina, the same venue that 4th anniversary will be. That either me and Cooper will be there, or some lucky DPW hog dipper is gonna get our tickets for free. All $6 that we spent.
We shall see, yes.
Was DPW Showdown in Cary 2. Dose. We started this out, which a match I really loved. Calvin Tankman versus Manny Lowe. I think this is the best Manny Lowe's looked from me. I think all of his offense really looked well, and I really loved the frantic pace of him just knowing he was going to get murdered by Tankman. And maybe if he can just keep on the pace and attack him before the bell and stuff, he can maybe etch out a win. But, that wasn't going to work. That was not going to work at all.
I agree. It was super fun.
Do you have anything else to say about it, Cooper, before we move on? It sucks because it's like a lot of this I'm like, oh, they could build to the future, but it's like there's not much future of the fourth.
No future.
No, I mean, I thought it was a super fun match to open the show. Ties up the brimming Tankman Mandy Lowe rivalry, which is less a rivalry and more just a one-sided annoyance. But it ties that a little bow on that storyline really nicely, I think. Mandy Lowe, I think, I had been somewhat critical of him previously in the pod, just saying that he's still very, very young, still trying to put the pieces together, really, and I think this is kind of maybe the closest that I've really seen to him getting it. So,
for sure, after this, if they weren't immediately dying, I would love to see him get integrated with that Trevor Lee and Adam Priest stable, but alas. Then we had an interesting match. Apparently, these two ladies, Leah Knight and Amanda Kiss, have been wrestling on the DPW prelims, which are not a part of the main show. They upload them afterwards. I haven't watched any prelims. I've seen them being uploaded, but I haven't gone back. And this was their rubber match that was actually added to the main card. And, it wasn't like the most knockout match ever, but I thought it was pretty good. I was sold on both of their characters, and I really would like to see more of Leah Knight, but again, alas, there's not going to be much more showing. Yeah. And there will be more indies, but there won't be more for DPW. Right. So,
of these two, Leah Knight I think showed the most promise. She got the win here. But I will say, small little note, both of these women were wearing the exact same tights, and that was very distracting for me. They had like a little like skull and crossbones design on the tights. It was literally the exact same thing.
Well, I can tell you why, Cooper.
There's lore? I thought it was just like a mistake or something.
No, there is lore. So, because I went and I was like, I'm interested in both these women. I want to see what other stuff they've done. And I also was like, when I saw it, I'm like, I'm interested in who trained them. Both of them are trained by Cozone's gym. I don't know if directly by Cozone. I would assume so, though. Mm-hmm. And they have been a tag team in a lot of other promotions. So they might have been just wearing their respective tag gear, but they're obviously not a tag team.
But yeah, that's on them then.
That's on them. You should not do that. Then we had the one match,
the pay-per-view debut. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Danny Luna, Jada Stone was fine. It was good. It's sad we didn't get the Danny Luna Queen Aminata match, but I'm hoping that Aminata is cleared by 4th anniversary, so we can hopefully see that match there. Not in Japan, but I don't think they'll run that there. But yeah, it was a nice little tune-up back match for Luna, a nice little win. I know Jada Stone had a lot of smoke under her during WrestleMania weekend, and I know I think Bayley wore one of her shirts out to a show or something like that, but I haven't seen much of her since then. So I'm interested to see.
I have maybe only ever seen 2 Jada Stone matches before this in my life, but she, I think, if guided properly, can be a name that you're going to hear for a while.
Mm-hmm. Then we had a rematch, Anthony Henry versus Adam Priest, first time without that world title. Former DPW World Champion, Adam Priest, who they wrestled the last showdown in Cary, where Priest won, I think, getting a low blow on Henry before locking in the half crab. This was, again, it's interesting to watch a lot of these things. It's okay, this is where they're going. Maybe Priest challenges again or stuff like that, but it's other than the main event and possibly the women's match, I have no idea what 4th anniversary is going to look like and where Adam Priest will factor in to the card. And because again, if you could have had Henry here, you could have had a rubber match there and let them really go at it. But I did, as much as I hate Priest, and he's such a little slimy jerk, it was a very smart finish. I did enjoy the way he guided the ref into the ropes, and and I love the promo he did afterward. It's you've been wrestling for 20 years. Well, I've been wrestling for 10. You aren't better than me on your best day. I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And the whole promo where he won the world's championship is trending on Twitter. I'm sure you saw that, Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to repeat that on the podcast. Dirty words. It's a funny promo, though. But I thought this was a very good match. And I just want to see more from them, which we're probably not going to. They're going to be a team in Ring of... They're going to be the 4 workhorsemen Ring of Honor. So,
Dude,
Hey, that's not a bad name. That's
it's sad.
workers.
Everything is just sort of tinted with this like depression.
like, I'm like, I can see where we're going here.
Logan,
It's like,
you probably don't need to bring up the fact that the company's dying like after every match. Like,
I
just
know.
to,
It's like, oh,
keep
man.
it a little.
This would be great if they were still gonna keep running shows.
my hope is that West Coast just keeps having DPW title defenses. They just let them. It's like when like certain companies die when they keep letting the belts get defended.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
If
Like
not,
Ring of Honor.
yeah, like Ring of Honor. If not, they better just like hang up all those DPW world titles in Kozone's wrestling gym, and he should get to keep them all.
Yeah, that'd be fitting.
Do you have anything to say on this match, Cooper?
No, not really. I mean, it was a fine Adam Priest match. Begrudgingly, as I say that, but yeah, the promo was really funny. I don't know. Anthony Henry, like, really, I say that both of the Workhorsemen as solo guys, I don't find much in usually. But I am always locked in for their tag stuff. So
yeah. Then we had the DPW National Title Eliminator match. Trevor Lee defeating BK Westbrook, the super stud. You know,
I will say though, I didn't mind this though because I do really enjoy this Trevor Lee.
I do too.
Stuff, so.
And it was a very good match. it was
really good, wasn't it?
Yeah. You know, I've been critical of BK and his attire, but like I was so sold here. I wanted to.
That boy can wrestle.
Yeah, boy can wrestle. And the moment where he yelled, like Trevor smacked him, he's like, "You messed with the wrong stud." I was like, "Yeah, get him!" I thought it was a very good match, and I think Trevor Lee winning is a good choice. Again, like I think Lee has a lot of momentum, and I mean, again, he could possibly win that world title and be the final world champion at that Japan show. Who knows? Maybe if depending on what Kozone does. And I love we finally getting to see, the Giant himself, Andrew Everett, return and come back after the match.
Yeah, that's really nice. Him and Lee are kind of always, going to be linked together certainly in my mind. And,
for sure.
So it's nice to see them play into that relationship on these last couple of shows.
That was prime TMA when they were Shane Helms Young Boys.
Yes, sir.
And I also think too, like, this was the first one I really felt like, okay, if we're filtering to the final show, this is a match I would want to see, that I could see them running, is when Lee came in, he faced Andrew Everett, squashed him basically, basically brutalized the man, and we've barely seen Everett in DPW since then. It's been more of a focus on BK, and Everett, if he's there half the time, he's taking the pin, which is a guy, again, who, first couple years especially was very important to that promotion. The first national champion, and I think before, or second national champion. One of the few people to beat Calvin Tankman, and I always wanted to see them get a rematch down the line. And especially because I was like, I could see BK beating Trevor Lee here, but now that he doesn't, like, I really want, I don't know, like a no holds barred or something crazy here for 4th anniversary for them too. And a definite grudge match. And also just the whole history, as we mentioned before. But then we moved on to a special singles match. Eric Stevens versus bounty hunter Brian Keith. Cooper, what do you think of this match?
Yeah, making his big DPW return. Former national champion, Brian Keith.
Mm-hmm. A man who has one of the few pinfalls over Jake something in the company.
Oh, I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned it on commentary, and I was like, "Oh, that's good, good commentary there." I'm gonna keep saying it. I really like this match. I really liked how mean Brian Keith was to Eric Stevens. This is my company.
I loved seeing just big time prick heel Brian Keith. I'm on television now. Fuck this.
And even if I'm not on television, it's still my company. You don't belong here.
I know. Just chumped out Eric Stevens after he made a great match. So.
And sometimes, wrestling is simple. If you hit hard, I'm going to like anything you do. And that is the thing for me with Eric Stevens. Also, just he's a good look and everything on top of that. But
yeah. We talked about it last time with the strong match, but this current presentation for Eric Stevens works so much better than his younger days.
Yeah. Choo choo. Did you hear Nigel say choo choo during commentary during Full Gear?
No, I didn't. I'm sure I did, but I probably forgot about it. But
yeah. When it was I watched it today, and I immediately, anytime I hear choo choo now, I just I want to rub it in your face almost, because you were like, choo choo's stupid. But
it is really stupid. He shouldn't say it.
It was during when Brody was wrestling FTR, and he had both in the corner, and he's like a running train. Choo choo, choo choo.
Yeah. I can see it in my head.
Yeah. But it's very good. And Eric Stevens picked up the much needed win to start his journey to facing Kozone for the national title. Then we move on to the DPW World's Tag Team title match. This was originally, it was supposed to be Bo Dash and Jake Something versus Miracle Generation and LeBron Kozone. But because of Queen Aminata and Danny Luna getting delayed, they decided to run Bo Dash versus Miracle Generation for the tag titles, and Kozone versus Jake Something in a champion versus champion match, where the winning champion will get a title opportunity at the losing champion's belt. This was the first title match of the night, and it was very good. This was, to me, a match of the year. Just getting in there. I really liked Miracle Generation healing it up in this match. As someone who's been babyface for the whole run, adjusting to that, and especially with the way they can bump for Bojack, and which they really like. I really like the way they used their offense against Bojack, and really were able to just take advantage of the 2v1s to keep him from dominating, and the way they were just so mean to little Morgan Dash the whole time.
Morgan Dash is very, very easy to bully.
Yeah, he's very easy to bully. And it's Miracle Generations aren't the biggest guys either. Is what's funny about it.
No. Exactly. Yeah. They're maybe a couple of inches taller than
Yeah. But I really like the pace of this match, because mainly, again, even when Bodash got their big moves, it wasn't enough to take out Miracle Generation. It felt like this was their moment, and it really was that a lot of matches are built okay, this is the moment where the challengers finally take over the champions, and they're beating the whole match, or they get this big comeback, or all this stuff. But really, in this one, it was just they just got the quickest pin of all time. I mean, literally, at 3 kick out, with Morgan Dash getting the roll up and Bojack at the last minute pulling them in, and they were getting their butt whooped before that. It looked like it was Miracle Generation's match all day long. And I think this was good. I've been saying for a while that I would like to see Bo Dash eventually get the titles. I didn't think it was going to be so soon, but obviously with the news, it makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and put it on. If you're going to give him a title run, you got to do it now. And I could see this being run back at fourth anniversary with a longer match and more heated and stuff like that. Or them doing a tag team scramble, or have them face VIF or GYV or anything you really want. But yeah, what did you think of this match, Coop?
It was very, very fun. I don't know that I would go match of the year on it, but yeah, I mean, it was a really good match. I echo, I mean, pretty much all the stuff that you said in terms of the dynamics with everybody and how it played out. But I will say my favorite moment of the match actually came after the pin, where the camera got real close to Morgan Dash, and you could hear him say, "What the fuck did I just do?" he was astonished by the fact that he had gotten that pin. So yeah, no, it was really great.
Yep. And then finally our main event, LeBron Cozone, Jake something, that championship challenge match. And this was I'm going to say it again, a very good match. I don't think this
is a match of the year.
This is a match of the year.
This is that real shit.
This is that real. And you know what's the best part? This is a match of the year that I still felt like they held back so much. Yes. I am so, like, as soon as they announced they were going to run this, I was like, what? Word? Because I've been, like, pushing the Cozone World Championship Committee for a long, long time. But I didn't think we were ever going to get it or if it was going to be a while if we ever got it. But, nah, they were on the same wavelength as me, bro. Oh, when he hit both ball games to finally win, too. I love Cozone be the one that really dominate this match and be able to match Jake something strength for strength, which, like, commentary really put over that. Like, you don't see a lot of wrestlers being able to do that, especially not, someone of the same size and stature. Like, when he hit him with that, what did they say, the washing machine backbreaker where he did the spin cycle on, like, oh, that looks gnarly, dude. And I really like that closing stretch, and I'm, like, so excited for 4th anniversary. I hope they run it back there. I assume they will. And if Cozone doesn't win the world title and ends the company as double champ, look, I love, me, I love Jake something. But if there's my guy, like, unironically, I think LeBron Cozone is in the conversation for Wrestler of the Year. For me, at least. For the performances he's put in and out this year alone. Especially if you're going on a smaller scale. Now, if you're going off of, like, the number of matches and stuff, sure. But if you're going off of, like, your main promotion, I think it's hard to beat his catalog and what he's been able to do and the amount of shows he's done it in. So I'm hoping 4th anniversary cap it off that way, but we'll see. And I'm very excited. I was fist pumping the air whenever he hit that second ball game, bro. I was like, pin him.
Yeah.
It was only like a 15-minute time limit too. So
is that no, I knew you would be geeked out for seeing this, and I don't blame you. I mean, I feel it's pretty much a lock that LeBron Cozone's going to be your final DPW World Champion.
I will try.
So stupid not to, but yeah, I mean, just a fantastic match. Very dudes rock of them. All through this. I mean, Cozone is just an absolute, like, diamond in the rough, like, kind of find that they have. And, we saw this week, I think, it was either a Ring of Honor taping or just a dark match taping. I forget what, before Blood and Guts.
I think it was Ring of Honor
for
versus
Greensboro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got, apparently, from what people said, a pretty good reaction. I haven't seen if that's gone to air yet, but I think anybody, obviously I'm biased. I want it to be AEW, but any promotion would be stupid not to at least consider, bringing in LeBron Cozone as a talent, as a coach, as whatever he wants to do. After all things are said and done here, so.
LeBron Cozone versus Mr. Smack Daddy for the GHC heavyweight title.
I'm watching it. I'm flying to Oregon right
LeBron
now.
Cozone.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
We didn't mention that Nakamura versus Ozawa is set for the new year after Wednesday.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
With the goofiest looking graphic I've ever seen in my life.
Why they got Ozawa looking like that, bro?
I know. Why is he happy all of a sudden? What's his deal?
Yeah, he's like in a white shirt now, and he's.
Yeah. Sorry, that just reminded me. Y'all can keep talking about DPW.
No, go ahead. Do you have anything else to say? I am very curious now.
Anything else today? I was just saying that the match is happening.
It is. I'm sure we'll cover it.
Yeah.
That and then Hiromu won their junior league.
Yes.
And I think they have Kenta versus who's he fighting at?
Segura.
Yeah.
Segura.
Mm-hmm.
It's his 25th anniversary.
Yep. Kozone and Champions Carnival next year. Fighting the
Sure.
Saitos.
I would cry. He doesn't deserve that. Nobody deserves to be a champion.
He's fighting Zion Quinn.
Oh no! Odyssey Jones.
But imagine when he fought the super rookie. Yuma Anzai? Yeah, Yuma Anzai. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that is dope.
It would all be worth it for just that.
But modern All Japan would, I don't know, but just do a series with him and Davey Boy or something,
Look, I want my boy to get paid, obviously, and I want him to keep teaching. But if I ever see a LeBron Kozone in an Evolve graphic, I will cry sad tears.
What, you're telling me you're not locked in for LeBron Kozone versus Brad Baylor or whatever?
Whatever, Shiloh Hill.
He could pair up with Jackson Drake again. There you go.
I would like to see him versus Brogan Finley or whatever his name is now.
Yeah.
I forget what they.
McShaughnessy, whatever.
I follow him on Instagram. I don't remember what his name is. It's something stupid. They didn't go full Irish with it. They gave him just like a white boy nickname. He said Chase U. Do you know that they put Brogan Finley and Chase U?
Why would?
And it's Chase. It's not even like Chase U when they were like top end. It's like Chase U 2.0 and nobody cares about. What have they done to my boy?
Chase U, silver and black.
For real. But yeah, that's it for DPW. We got 4th anniversary coming up on December 12th. You might see me and Cooper do an in-person podcast with Jack calling in. Maybe one day.
Right.
No, we're actually we're gonna force Jack to record right after his wedding shower. I think that's the plan.
Right after.
We're gonna be like, "Hey, buddy, hey."
Oh man.
We're gonna get Sarah on. That's the only way we can get Sarah on the pod.
We'll get Sarah on. Oh, that's funny.
We'll review your wedding shower. Yeah, I think that's it for DPW. We've done the C2. We've done World Tag League. It's time for Full Gear. Wrap this puppy up. We started off with Sky Team versus the Don Callis family, team of Takeshita Okada and Hechicero. I didn't watch this match, Cooper. It was on the pre-show to me.
It was overrun from the tailgate brawl. So I don't believe. But I thought that they did the same thing last pay-per-view with FTR and Jet Speed,
yep.
I think. And I thought that was a killer way to start a show. And I thought same deal here. I watched a little bit of it on the Tailgate Brawl before it switched over.
Okay.
And the gist of it was that Okada was missing from the entrances here. He did not come out with Hechicero and Takeshita. Hechicero has really been wanting to get these CMLL Trios titles away from Sky Team for a little bit. And so he immediately goes after Mystico, damn near breaks his arm off. Mystico is carted away to the back to get taken care of. So now it's an even 2-on-2 match with Neon and Mascara Dorada and the Callis family team. And Okada only comes in I think maybe 5 minutes into the match or whatever. He rolls up to the parking lot in his gear, stepping out of a Rolls Royce or something, and very leisurely makes his way down to the ring, gets a full entrance with Curiosity and everything, then they proceed to do the usual Okada Takeshita stuff, the middle finger, the accidental Rainmaker, all those classic spots there. And meanwhile, Hechicero is losing his mind. Like, Hechicero was the best part of this match. Just having to deal with these two idiots and their interpersonal drama while he's like on a serious mission to like get these belts away. Like there's the bit where Okada is he goes to do the handshake with Takeshita, and then he turns it around to the middle finger, and the whole time Hechicero is like miming at both of them. Is like, please, like, don't flip him up, like, just shake his hand, let's just get it over with. But anyways, all of this is for naught because Mystico, with the power of Membuero as his entrance music, runs down to the ring, his arm taped up, and proceeds to put a ass whooping the size of the entirety of Arena Mexico onto the Don Callis family, throws on La Mystica, and immediately El Sky Team retains their trios championships. I thought it was a really killer way to kick off a show. I mean, I like this pre-show overrun thing, even if it might have been accidental both times. But I hope it stops being accidental. I think it was fun.
All right, it sounds good. That's about all I'm going to be able to add to every single match on this card. It sounds like it was good.
That's fine. That's the glory of recorded video on the internet is right. That you can go back and watch it anytime you want.
No doubt. I did see the Hechicero sort of comedy bits on the web, and I did think that was very funny. He is a very expressive man.
This is unrelated to what I obviously did not watch this match. I saw it and I was like, look, I gotta get through all 4.5 hours of this pay-per-view, and this is technically on the pre-show. This is why I'm not watching it. I already heard the result because Cooper texted the image of can you read out the meme that you send?
The greatest image of all time.
That or the Go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Let me pull up our group chat.
The greatest video of the Atlantis Junior video, obviously. Better luck next time.
That's
buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. L plus ratio plus cry plus didn't ask plus you fell off plus reported plus Viva Mexico plus La Mystica.
Yeah, that's what I thought of this match. I'm like, all right, my boy came through. I do have something completely unrelated, but it reminded me of it. I mentioned before we started the podcast that I saw Rental Family, which is a movie based in Japan, and they were playing All Japan Wrestling 2 in the movie. Specifically, Brendan Fraser was playing as Kenta Kobashi, so I thought that was pretty...
Are you serious?
I am serious. For the Sega Dream... So this whole movie is like... This isn't a spoiler, it's from the trailers. Basically, he's an actor who acts at this agency where people will hire him to be people in their life. Like, you're going to be my husband, you're going to be my dad, you're going to be this and that. And one guy just hires him to basically, like, hang out and play video games. And they only play... I swear to God, everyone is All Japan Wrestling 2. Because I saw it and I was like, what game is that? I was like, is that Baba or Kobashi? I'm like, no, that's Kobashi. I looked it up, too. I was like, let me make sure. I wanted to name the game title. It was for the Sega Dreamcast, so I was like, it's got to be an All Japan game. But
that's funny.
It did pop me hard.
You should have been playing King of Colosseum, bro.
But we move on from that to the first match on the card, which was Pac versus Darby Allin. This Darby Allin entrance was awesome, bro. The package,
the pre-taped video was really awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very well done.
I really liked them basically having him as the Invisible Man with the eye and him staring. And like, this was a match that I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, that's fun. This would be good. But like, and I had watched the shows and I've seen this whole build, but like, it just like didn't dawn on me. Like, oh yeah, this is like steadily been secretly built in the shadows kind of thing. Like, if you've been really paying attention, this is definitely like something that's well enough to justify a feud. Cause sometimes we just put matches on because it's like, okay, we've kind of set it up a little bit, and we just need we need some match, or we would like you guys to be on the show, or like we would like you to be on the show kind of thing. But like they had the whole Pac comeback, cost Darby in the coffin match. then, be in the way of the Death Riders and try to get him in the I Quit match. And then obviously in Blood and Guts where he threw him through the table. So Pac has been a thorn in the side of Darby along with the other Death Riders, but him specifically has really been, a big old bastard, as his name is. And the whole, I really like the build, which is, we're going to have a straight up wrestling match because you can't beat me in a wrestling match. I'm going to leave the other Death Riders at home. No weapons, no nothing. Me and you. Of course, this is right after Pac threw Darby through a flaming table and gave him second-degree burns, where he cheated in the match of Blood and Guts, where I guess it's legal to cheat, but also it's like, come on, man. You already got a team full of 6 people. Why do you need another one? Or a team full of 5 guys.
Well, what did you just say?
Just
Sorry.
5 guys. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't want to beat a dead horse because this is like the deadest of horses, but I did pull up Cage Match just to follow along. I am looking at the match length of every match and just like guffawing at the whole thing. Like, oh my God.
And you know what's funny? This is like still, it was long, but like, it's not even that long for like AEW
shorter
show. Side. It was like 4:25. I was like, thank God.
It flew by for me, man. Yeah.
But yeah, and to be fair, the El Sky Team match was in the middle. Like, it was almost done whenever the show started. So
yeah.
You didn't get up the full 13 minutes in the pay-per-view.
No, that's fair.
But I really liked the build to this. And I thought it was a very good match. Especially because the whole thing's like, I'm going to out-wrestle you. But then he specifically, I mean, it's legal, but like, as soon as Darby starts out-wrestling him, he starts throwing him on the outside, going for his second-degree burns, and just prodding at him and being a bastard,
Darby selling the burns was so good.
Yes.
Like, it just, it's something, like, it's so obvious now that that's what they would do with it, but going into this match, and I'm thinking like, it's just gonna be a straight up wrestling match. How are they gonna make something really kind of spectacular with it? And of course, Darby still finds a way to make some like disgusting like freak bump with it, and like just even something as simple then as like hitting the ropes, that becomes like a real danger to him with his burned up back.
Well, not only that, but like he can't just hit the corner normally. He has to go through the post, hit the post, and bounce off into the ground, or like
right.
The gorilla press straight onto the floor. The sound, the thud he made, like that was so nasty. Yeah. And like I love too. Like, so Darby comes out, Jack, like arm completely taped. His left arm completely taped up. His abdomen taped up from like these burns. And as soon as Pac goes for him, he rips all his arm taped off, and he starts giving him Indian burns on his burn. He starts like moving his arm. Like, I was like, why? I think there was actually some type of scarring from the fire, it looked like, because like
that's crazy.
There was like
there had to have been because it stayed on him for like a couple seconds.
It was not like, it didn't look like they did like makeup or something. Like, it looked like his arm was messed up big time. I think Darby also got a new face tattoo.
Did he for real?
On his other side of his face, the little tiny one.
Maybe. I know he had a slightly different paint design.
Yes.
For the
well, he has, a giant face tattoo on one of the sides, but it's the side he paints. And the other side's normally clear. But he had like a black, it looked like almost like a star, like a sea urchin on one side of his head. So.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm like, I don't remember that. But this was very good. Even through this, Darby, finds a way to fight, continues, finally is able to get Pac and the Scorpion Deathlock, and when it looks like Pac's about to tap, instead of waving his hand up like he's about to tap, he waves his hand to call in the reinforcements, which is Wheeler Utah, who comes in, and I forget if he just like stood there and the ref saw him, or if he like tried to. Oh no, he stood on the ring apron and got in the ring. Darby came, started shoving him, and while he went around, he had thrown the bat to Pac. The ref gets him out of his face. Darby turns around, gets hit by a bat. 1, 2, 3. The guy who said he was going to have a normal wrestling match, of course, lied. I mean, how can you trust a guy whose nickname is Bastard? Like, that's on Darby at that point. Like, come on, man. I understand you don't trust Death Riders in general, but, like, especially the guy whose nickname is Bastard. Like, you know he's going to lie. That man's going to lie all day long.
Well, even then, I mean, even if Darby expected that, things would not be 100%, like, there's still just not anything he could do about it. Yeah. I mean, like, so, no, yeah, I thought this was a really stellar opener, and the choice to have Pac go over, I thought was a really inspired one. Darby can lose as many matches as you want him to, and he will, I think, always and actually probably it would benefit him to lose more matches, quite frankly. I think, but he'll just always be such a loved and respected member of the roster there, and I think, while obviously it was the plan to have him be the one to take the belt off Mox initially, and then things got complicated. I think and this could change. I really am just not all that interested in seeing him in kind of any title picture at the minute. I much prefer him when he is in this kind of, like, title-less, just for the love of the game kind of mentality. And so, the momentum of Darby, I think, can be absolutely sacrificed for this particular pay-per-view cycle, and to elevate not only just Pac himself, but to then play a part in the broader Death Riders story with what happens with Moxley's match later on, which we'll get to.
Mm-hmm. Darby is someone that, like, especially out of all wrestlers, does not need a title, and he does not need to win, because he is believable at any point. He's believable to win, he's believable to lose.
It's a thing people used to. It's a thing people used to say about Taker, and I know we all have our mixed feelings about Taker, but it is true that there's value in a wrestler who, like, is that kind of a special attraction where people look forward to their matches, like, no matter what, regardless of whether there's a title involved. Not like in a different way than you could say people look forward to any match. Like, yes, Darby matches are, their own thing. People look forward to for their own reasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They've got these qualities about them that make them a draw, regardless of whether they're building to a title match or not. Those qualities being that he gets thrown around and dies. So
Darby Allin, Darby Allin doesn't know that wrestling is fake.
Yeah. But it is true that characters like that, they can stand alone regardless of the championship situation. I do believe that.
I will say I still really do want to see him get a world championship, and with who is the current world champion at the end of the show, I feel like we still might move towards that direction at some point, especially because of their history. And I mean, who's to say that match wouldn't be awesome again? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they keep him. I definitely think he's gonna feud with Pac some more. That's part of the thing. Is like, one reason I'm worried about is, like, I like Darby's matches, and I like watching Darby chase the Death Riders and stuff, but, like, there is a point to where I'm like, how long do I have to see this man chase the Death Riders kind of thing? Because you think about it,
I want this Death Rider shit done.
Because, like, he was chasing the Death Riders before the C2 last year, going into it, and he chased Claudio. So if I see him and Pac in the same block, I mean, I know neither of them are going to win it anyway because it's been foregone conclusion that Takeshi and Okada are going to do it, but, like, I just don't care about that, seeing that storyline beat again. That's part of the reason I'm hoping that it's just, like, Pac in the block and Darby doesn't get in, or if they're in separate, you know? That's my hope. But I did really like this match. I thought it was a borderline match of the year, or depending on your scale, it could be. And I definitely one that I'd like to go back and rewatch. And again, like with anybody, I really like seeing Pac work as a powerhouse. That was very nice.
Yeah, I love this new presentation for Pac since he's come back from injury. I believe I said it the first week that he was coming back, but he debuted the new attire. But I was like, he looks very Dynamite Kid-esque.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But then we move on to the four-way tag team match with the 4 remaining participants in the women's tag team inaugural championship tournament, the inaugural one. Timeless Love Bombs versus the Bays of Wrath versus Marina Shafir and Bang Bane versus the Sisters of Sin. Winners get to choose the stipulation for their semifinal tag match. This was alright. This was good. I enjoy this match. It's just one that, like, it just ticks me off because I know they originally said Full Gear was where they would have this tournament end. And so not only to not have it end, but then have, for some reason, all have a 4-way with all the 4 remaining participants for just like a stipulation match, I think is kind of dumb.
You are kinder to this match than I am. I did not like this really at all. And it's not because of the work of any of the participants here. Maybe a little bit because of the work of one of the participants, but that's notwithstanding. But entirely or mostly due, to just the booking malpractice. I think really with how this tournament has been structured and like laid out, and like look, some of that is unintentional with some injuries and stuff like that, but like you can still format your tournament to end on a pay-per-view day. Like they had this laid out and then just kept delaying and then have a Blood and Guts match, which granted I loved. I thought that Blood and Guts match was incredible. And I wouldn't take it away, certainly, but like it's baffling to me that they didn't like think to factor in this tournament for these new belts on one of their big the original AEW Big Four pay-per-views, right? Like, you would think that they would take extra care to make sure that this spot on the card, it was with a match that meant something, and meant something real, right? Because the stipulation thing, that's not real stakes at all.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares about what the stipulation of the semifinal match for one of these teams is going to be. Like, they just pulled something out of their ass. And like, and I'm not even particularly fond of how much like comedy stuff is in this tournament too. Like it kind of doesn't feel like it feels really like only like Megan Bain and Marina Shafir are like the only ones taking it seriously.
You've had that,
which I'm not into. Go ahead, Jack.
I was just gonna say you've had that criticism of the like women's mid card for a minute. It seems.
Yeah, I mean, it's the. And I promise I am trying not to harp on one person here, but it's the Harley effect, man. I don't.
Yeah, when you were like, not on the women. Believe me, Wonder Woman. I was waiting when you said not on the work of the women. I was like, that's a lie. I know what he's about to say. I know.
Like, dude, what are we doing? Like, and she's bringing Willow down with her now. Like, I'm not even particularly interested in watching a Willow Nightingale match, which I thought I would have sounded crazy for saying that like a year ago. You know, like, I don't know, man. Like, if you want to build up this division and have it be a featured part of your programming, which I think is a noble goal and a good goal to have, then fucking do it. Like genuinely, truly, right? And to me at least, that means, you know, cutting away the fluff from it. But the problem is that they don't have enough women on the roster. They don't have a deep enough women's roster to do that, or at least not a deep enough women's roster that isn't hurt to do that at the minute. And so they include a lot of this fluff. and like, you know, that's kind of just how it goes, I guess. But yeah, like I worry that and the only reason that this match is here too is just because the TBS champ and the women's champ were in a match together, and so they didn't have a second women's match planned otherwise, which is also a problem. You know, like you can't. I don't know, man. Like, I just think that I know exactly how these belts are going to be treated a year from now. Not even a year, 3 months from now. You know, and it bums me out. That's all.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I will say this. I know you are mad about the comedy stuff. I do appreciate the timeless love bomb stance to start the show.
I'm glad that you do.
Yeah, I just, you know, whatever. I hope Megan Bain and Marina Shafir get these belts, though.
I hope so too. They won't. It's gonna be the timeless love bombs. I'll tell you that right now.
I still think it's gonna be Sisters of Sin.
No, dude. Absolutely not. I would love that. Trust me, I would love that. I would love that more than maybe anybody. But they don't see the things in that team. I don't think. At least not as the inaugural champs. Like, the Timeless Love Bombs are just so undeniably the most over of anybody on here. So that's like, you know.
You do the dance too.
They do the dance.
See, that's what I'm saying, bro. I like the dance. I don't know. I think FTR should start doing dances personally. Speaking of FTR and Big Stoke versus Brodito for the World Tag Team Championships, the AEW Men's World Tag Team Championships. And
with the belly video package? You didn't think I was not going to mention the belly video package? What? Like, can we take a minute to appreciate it? It was awesome.
I did think AEW's video packages are very good for this pay-per-view. But yeah, coming back down, Big Stoke. I got to be quiet now. By the way, the people are sleeping in the house. Me yelling at Cooper for hating on Collier Camlin woke up everyone in the surrounding area. But yeah, Carly Cameron. It's late, exist. Bro. My mouth is tired. I've been yapping for too long. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I thought this was a very good match. I think it was borderline match of the year, and I am very sad for obvious reasons. Though I think FTR is going to have a great run of the titles, and I really think it was structured so well. Like, I like Stoke actually getting involved and getting killed in that suicide dive, and that was the momentum changer, that they were just able to keep Brody down by like him being woozy and taking advantage of basically just moving out of the way and making him his own worst enemy for most of the match, and singling out Bandito, and I think they really got Bandito over just how good of a wrestler he is and how much the crowd is over with him. And like, if you don't put the world title on him sometime in the next couple of years, like even for a short run, like I don't believe everyone has to have a long run, as we'll see later on tonight. Like, he's got to win it at some point. Like, the crowd surge behind him is crazy.
I mean, it depends on how long he's able to keep that. But yeah, I mean, as it stands right now, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yep. Somebody else who's definitely in the best of the year conversation, best wrestler of the year. And I mean, he just looked like, even in defeat here, I mean, he looked like a star. I really popped for a lot of the false finishes. I really admire FTR's selling of whenever people kick out, because, you know, a lot of people do the shocked expressions, or I think it's a little bit overdone, but FTR does the what the F, man, like what is going on here? We need to beat this guy down, just the angry, just like, you know. And I just dug the structure of it, of like every time you thought there was a hope spot, they would just have an answer for Brody to be able to single out Bandito. Ultimately, that led to the finish of Bandito kicked out of everything, but he couldn't kick out of a second shatter machine, especially alone right there. And it sucks to see, because for the poor abuelas and all the Brodito fans out there, but hey, we're coming back strong after we get this little C2 run, brother. I'm telling you. One of them's going to be in the C2. I have no doubt in my mind.
Oh, that's probably right. That's probably right.
What did you think, Coop?
Yeah, I really loved this. I agree with you. The structure was laid out very smartly. Man, the chances they got in this to show off Bandito's like strength spots, I thought those were incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, him deadlifting Brody to slam him down onto FTR instead of the other way around like it's usually been. You know, that got such a great pop from the crowd. And yeah, I mean, like, Bandito is, I think, in such a great spot right now. I mean, he people really do kind of like treat him like a superhero almost, and you can really feel like, and part of this might be because they've played up more, you know, him getting banged up recently, as part of his matches, but people really feel the struggle for him when he's in you know, the deep waters of a heel heat segment, and really want him to struggle through it and to come out on top. Yeah, like as somebody who has not been as hot on this latest FTR kind of heel run, I will say this is what I want to see from them, this kind of match. And I never really doubted that, you know, they could still get it done in the ring. My issues have been more so, you know, character and story wise for their stuff. But even, like, you know, even the Cope and Christian matches, I was not like crazy on, and part of that might just be because I'm not all that big on you know, Federation lore in my glorious dub at the minute. But you know, like, so it was nice to me though to see these two teams who I think are just masters of meat and potatoes tag team wrestling really go at it, and I'm a little more optimistic now going into this FTR, this third FTR title run, and I hope that what I hope doesn't happen though is that they rush the Bandito split, or like make it like a hard split, right? Yeah. I think there's still so much good that can be done with the two of them together, and even if it's just, you know, they're, at ringside for each other's singles matches or something like that. Like just having them as a consistent pairing on screen, I think is magic. And I don't want to see them lose that. Really,
I'm fine with them if they want to do some single stuff, but again, they should not hard split them. And whenever they're ready to do more tag team stuff, I think. And again,
yeah. Like, do not have either of them turn, right? Like, I don't think...
And they may not do the C2. They may just run it back at World's End and build up to that. But, I'd be shocked if not one of them are. A lot of people were like, they're going to lose here so they can be in the C2. We need both of those monsters in the C2.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Sure.
We then move on to the AIDA National Title Casino Gauntlet match for the vacant title. We started off with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, and very quickly we did not 30 seconds. Yeah,
for like 30 seconds.
See any of this. I do love the way Ricochet comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, you don't want to be him," and he's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! We don't want to see this wrestling. We don't want to see wrestling. We want to see you guys. We want to see haymakers. We want to see you guys punch each other. We want to see when you attack." The big moves, and then he runs. Of course, the Gates of Agony come out. They start beating up the Hurt Syndicate. Ricochet runs down with the mic, hits EP in the head with it, and gives him 5 big booms to the head. He says another one. He says another one in the mic, and he said, "You see this, AJ? This is for you. 5 big booms." And then he hits him with one more big boom for good measure. Gets in the ring, starts celebrating while the Gates are just beating the absolute crap out of the Hurt Syndicate, and then they just went away, right? I never saw them after doing that. They weren't like chased off.
Yeah, they didn't play too much of a presence afterwards. I think they were kind of like maybe still hovering around.
I just personally think if you're going to bring them out, you might as well just have them run through everyone until they gang up on them at least. But
they were being paid by the minute, bro.
They demanded more money that Ricochet didn't have. But then number 4 is Claudio Castagnoli, and seeing Ricochet's reaction as soon as the Death Riders music hit was just hilarious. He's such a good stooge. He goes to attack Claudio by hitting him with a suicide dive. Claudio, frame 1, clips in and hits him with the uppercut that kills him. Starts beating up Ricochet. Ricochet finally gets the advantage for whose music to hit, but another Death Rider and Daniel Garcia. Ricochet is more peeved. And they start beating up on Ricochet. And then, if I believe, it was OC, right?
It was either OC or
no, it was OC. It was OC first.
It was a conglomeration.
And I would never pop for Orange Cassidy, especially when Where's My Mind plays. The one firework will always look amazing and perfect for his character. He comes down, starts beating up the Death Riders. Ricochet gets thrown out of the ring. He's by ringside. He starts to get the advantage on him. And then, whose music to hit but Wheeler Utah's? Wheeler Utah. And I do Paul Grouper. I really love the way the commentary just complained, like immediately started burying Wheeler. It's like, why aren't you running out, man? Like, you can have the advantage. Why are you slow walking out? You're so and like Danielson wanted to like say it. He's like, well, I'm not. I love to. Danielson's like, actually, I'm not trying to because Wheeler Utah's an idiot, but there was some very good commentary on this. What match was it that had pretty good? The next one I think I really enjoyed. But they do end up ganging up on Orange Cassidy. For then, I believe Roddy's music hits after that. He runs out. Then we get is it either Mark Davis or Matt Menard? Yeah.
Oh, Mark Davis.
Was
yes,
Menard
I think
the
Menard
last
was
entrant?
the last entrant.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we get.
I believe so. But Mark Davis comes in and immediately
Yes.
reminds people. By the way,
Because
it comes
he
out
doesn't
to
have a
negative
theme
pop.
song. He just gets a giant image of Don
and then-
Callis.
Yeah. But then reminds people.
By just
exactly
pile
who the fuck
driving
he
everyone
is for a
in
second.
like awful waffles. Close your eyes and count to pile drivers for everyone, and it was awesome. And I was reminded that Mark Davis is the greatest wrestler in God's green earth. He is Dunkzilla for a reason. And then I believe after that we get both members of Jet Speed who did, and like one by one, who did have a little exchange there. And then after they had their little, wapa, we're actually fighting each other. The Hurt Syndicate finally gets up and pretty much clears house to everyone inside the ring. Then we got Matt Menard, who just absolutely beeline for Daniel Garcia, taking him out of the match. And then we got into the finishing sequence.
He says in his most Quebecois
What, Danny? What?
voice.
What? The whole time.
Danny?
What? I'll say this: Matt Menard.
He just makes
he is the
vague
most 80s wrestler
French
ever,
Canadian
but Matt Menard
noises.
is a very good 80s wrestling theme. And I was like, whoa, who's this? It was when I heard the music, I was like, whoa, this is good music. Who's this? And then I saw Matt Menard come out, and I was like, I'm a Big Daddy Magic guy, but like, oh, this guy has this music? Like, one of the better AEW themes, and it's Matt Menard? All right.
Yeah.
I did enjoy him and Danny brawling. But then, we're getting into the closing sequence, which is basically, if I remember, was it OC? OC got hit by something. Oh, no, I know what it was. OC hits Claudio with an orange punch, and the Hurt Syndicate are brawling outside with Claudio, and I don't remember who the other person is. But they're brawling outside. OC then gets hit by the Psycho knee by Wheeler Utah, who goes for the pin, but is then hit by the UFO by Kevin Knight. And then Kevin Knight is hit by a Spirit Gun by... It's a stupid name. Spirit Gun by Ricochet for the 1-2-3 in the national title. Who's shocked? Not I. We all predicted it.
Not I called that. No.
I predicted it specifically because you guys did.
Jack
so
said
I'm
I don't want to do
satisfied with
anything
that.
different.
I didn't know. This could have been anybody. I wish I would have picked Matt.
That's true. It could have been Mark
Maybe
Davis.
would have happened if I had picked them. But yeah, this was the right decision. This is the right guy I think you want for this title. It's a good looking title. I personally like the look. It's not too...
It's literally the NWA television
It's
title.
funny how it looks exactly the
Yeah.
same, as the TV title. But I mean, it's pretty. It's cool to have such a different, design for a
Yep.
title in AEW because they, as good as their titles are, they'll follow like a clear sort of through line, and this one doesn't. Obviously, it's AEW.
I do
But
too.
still, I like it.
I know originally AEW has too many belts. It's always the argument, but I agree. But like,
I still don't think
I
it should
do
exist.
miss the international belt, and I think that had its own vibe and stuff. And if it gives more people more stuff to do that deserve to have title belts, then I'm fine with it. Like again, I think Ricochet has done good work in the past year, but it didn't feel like, he wasn't gonna beat Kyle Fletcher. Maybe now he could have gone and beat Mark Briscoe, but again, like there's a lot of guys in AEW who are almost like.
Well, that's the thing. Like you gotta sometimes you just gotta
That's
wait your
fair.
turn. Like that's
But-
that's it.
I don't know. There's a lot of guys in AEW feel directionless. I also think if they can actually, for once, do the thing that they set out to do, which is unifying title that gets defended all over the world in different partner promotions, then it'll be a good belt, but that's not going to happen. But if they did that and they stuck with it, it would be a good belt.
Sure. My apprehensions is actually less about that and more just about the fact that it seems like we're still going to be continuing the Demand and the Hurt Syndicate rivalry for like another pay-per-view cycle at least. So, I'm sure they'll find some other variation of that. I don't know. Maybe we'll get an MVP singles match. On
Tony books like when someone's doing like a SmackDown versus Raw, where like it works one time. Like, all right, I don't have anything else for these guys. Let's keep doing it for like 6 months straight. But yeah, I agree with that. I was like, I don't really want to see this anymore. I really want to see Kevin Knight take the title off of him. I feel like that'd be good starting to like start Kevin Knight's push, but that's not gonna happen. We didn't go on to the no holds barred match where it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Jon Moxley with Marina Shafir at ringside. I really liked this match. I'm gonna keep saying that. It was definitely something.
I heard this one was quite
something. But I, you said ooh.
Who?
This was the match where I really thought commentary did an amazing job. Because, again, both these guys have some type of amateur background or are submission specialists. And they were like, yeah, typically the no-holds-barred match is not just weapons and stuff. It's more of you can actually use moves that are banned and stuff. And wrestling, there's not really much, but it's more the basis of amateur wrestling where you can use this or that. And them constantly reminding of that, or this move is banned in this sport and this move in that. Especially because this one was more submission based. I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed that they didn't go too crazy with like weapons and shenanigans in this one, because with a Mox match and especially after Blood and Guts, like I don't really care to see too crazy of, I'm fine with like him pulling out the fork and then using some really good spots with that, but like I don't want to see like this just become typical, no rules match where everything goes. Especially not with these two wrestlers. Yeah. But I thought it's very good. I love Mox tapping out again. I think Kyle O'Reilly is the greatest to ever do it. I did not like that was the one thing about Blood and Guts which stands out is a lot of times in the cage there's so much going on. Like, you don't get, like, too crazy of, like, camera angles of where people are, like, really close ones where people are bleeding. But in this one, we're seeing Mox stab Kyle O'Reilly directly in the head or vice versa and stuff like that. There was some gnarly stuff. Yeah, in other places, too. His back and
in other places.
All over. I really like the way they incorporated the fighting. Like, instead of just, like, Moxie in the fork and just going to town, like, how much of a struggle it was. To actually use it.
Yeah. And seeing Kyle get the fork
nice.
too and try getting some revenge. That was fun, I thought. I was just gonna say, this match only really started, devolving into standard Moxley fare, towards the end. It did not last very long, that portion of it. Kyle got like the chain out, I know that, and used that for a moment. There's a great bit where it looked like they were tied into some sort of submission maneuver with but like wrapped up in this chain together.
Yeah.
You can read some symbolism into that maybe. But I will say all of that is maybe meaningless preamble to quote Excalibur.
I do love Tony Fine. Like, what do you call that, Excalibur?
John Moxley.
You stabbed the man in the nipple, Tony. What more do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was very nice.
Right. So Yeah,
No,
I did.
it
Like the
was
match
very
a lot, though.
funny.
I am kind of joking on that particular spot because it was so funny, and it took me out of it a little bit. But yeah, no, this was great. This was a hands down match of the night for me. Which I know mileage might vary on like those kind of big bloodbaths. Actually, the big bloodbathy nature of it is a little bit of a contention. Not for me, not for this match, but for the match after it. Just having those sorts of moments so close together, I thought was maybe an odd, layout choice, but. I really
for sure.
loved it.
I really love, again, like this is one that commentary, there's sometimes commentary like knocks down matches. This is one where, especially having Danielson on commentary, really elevated it, where it's like, Marina Shafir is a judo master, and she's giving John Moxley the fork because she doesn't believe that Mox can tap out Kyle O'Reilly, can take him out by doing a...
Yeah. And her reaction, the whole match, but specifically after the finish, was just absolutely wonderful. She really.
And then
really well
the other thing,
of
which is Danielson said, is this is Moxley after he got the fork and basically got into Kyle's head. This is why Moxley calls it death jitsu. It's his mixing normal judo holds with his, any weapons he can use and get out of his grasp, and that's his style of fighting that he enjoys the best. And seeing that whenever Moxley had busted open Kyle and was just smashing his face in with his forearms on the ropes was a very nice touch. I think Danielson on commentary is the best thing that AEW has done commentary-wise in years. He always adds something to the matches for me, even if it's just doing like face shtick to the heel, managers or whatever. He always adds some type of insight that I think normal commentators wouldn't add. And, like, that elevated, like, I was, like, more involved in this match than I already was interested in because I was, like, this is a new wave of me looking at it, And a lot of, like, even, like, the death jitsu stuff, I'm like, what does that mean? That's stupid. And I'm like, okay, I see it, Like, and I think, too, like, even the weapons used in this match.
Yeah, sure.
Look, I like the way they incorporated the fork. And, like you were saying with the chain, like, it felt not tasteful, but, like, it felt, like, very intentional. Like, we're not going overboard. And, like, the chain was used in a way of, like, just to keep opponents close for striking. It wasn't used where it's like they were whipping each other with it or, hanging each other. It was more of just, like, to tether each other, which, especially for a submission match, it's very... Well, yeah. Well, punching out, I mean, that's what you expect.
Kyle did try to, I think, punch him out.
I thought they may have done, like, the hangman spot or, tried to, whip each other, but I was happy when they didn't really try that and just more of the tether and the, stuff like that and the punching each other. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we then move on to Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the TNT title, which was the longest match on the card, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, it was by I think a couple of minutes.
Now,
the
I did skip one match on this card, and I did watch this match,
longest.
but this is the point of the show where I was like, I'm paying attention, but I'm half paying attention because I'm getting ready to get this show on the road. So I'm very interested to see what you thought of it, Cooper, because I know you weren't a biggest fan of the last match and weren't really excited about this one going in, but it does have a very high rating with those sickos on Cage Match. It's a 9.
It
does.
I'm looking at that right now. 9.07.
Yeah.
Are you going to disagree?
Yeah. I get why it is so highly rated. It's too damn long. This is way too long. And I will say by the end, they got so out there with the spots and everything, and Briscoe is just bleeding like a stuffed pig and everything, and Kyle too, and so they were able to kind of get the crowd back into it. But the first 2/3 of this match were so dead, like crowd wise. Like, man, they were not about it, and that really also affected me. Aside from me just not being super into continuing this feud out, the one the one spot really that I actively remember though was at one point Kyle getting the Callis family screwdriver and sticking it so it's poking upwards in the turnbuckle, and he has Briscoe up on the turnbuckle and he's teasing, I'm gonna do the top rope brainbuster through and spike his head on it, and that I knew for a fact they would never ever do that. But it like just seeing the image of the screwdriver up through the turnbuckle
and Briscoe's body starting to lift because he got him.
Aghast.
He didn't get him all the way up, but he started to lift him for a second. I'm like, you can't do that. You will kill a man.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just sometimes there is brilliance in brevity, and that is not really. I mean, Kyle Fletcher is an Ospreay disciple for better and for worse, and I think that just this type of match it was not what I needed at the time. Just watching it live, and also is probably not what I need going forward.
Move on.
So but I do like that Briscoe finally won it, and that we can see him with
I
the
got
belt, and
good news for you.
Move on
Cooper.
from this Kyle Fletcher and Don
the next
Callis
the next 5 Kyle Fletcher matches will be under 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is right. That is right.
We're gonna make him the Toro Yano of this
there
UFC too.
You got to put some restraints on him.
Sub 10-minute matches. Yeah, he's gonna start trying to sell replicas of his former TNT title.
He's the break now.
Would you like to buy my He only wins by roll up. That would be funny. Kyle Fletcher's like, would you like to buy the TNT?
He only wins by
DVD of my TNT title run. And I thought this was a good. And I was very happy with him dropping this title to Briscoe because, one, I'm a Briscoe guy, but two, I think, like, how long are we going to keep Fletcher with this title? Because he's obviously someone that they want to keep and start to elevate really into that main event scene, especially for all the members of the Callis family with Takeshita and Okada, who are currently feuding with each other. Like, who would you have, especially with how big it is? And I think getting his title off now in a way that, like, he's not going to lose any shine losing to Briscoe, especially in this manner. He'll have a good C2, and he'll move on to the main event scene. I think it's a good choice. But yeah, then we move on to the $1 million 6-man tag team match, and I am very sad to say this is the first time of all the matches I've skipped. This is the one, and it was the one that involved Kenny Omega. No, I didn't.
Did it suck?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. You're not.
Yeah, let's get
much.
to the angle.
Really?
Can we skip
I didn't
the
skip
rundown
it
of this?
because I thought it was
to
such
the
as
angle?
more just I was running out of time.
In
Like,
2025.
look, I got Fletcher. Well, yeah, I was like, I got Fletcher and Kyle, and I'm like, I know that'll be fun.
I mean, it didn't matter.
I was like, I'm not skipping Mercedes and Stat, and I'm like, I obviously can't skip the main event. I'm like, they should have started the show with this. I'm like, I don't know why we're doing this in the middle of the card. But yeah.
Yeah. I will say that the one thing from it was Nick Jackson, I think, just completely ate shit on a time. And it seemed like Kenny Omega took Luchasaurus aside and was saying was giving him a talk afterwards about maybe how to catch somebody. So that was funny, but I mean otherwise it was what you expect. Josh
Elite
Alexander
lore and
was
big
working
2025. The Don Callis family wins
that's
by I believe the Bucks took out Jack Perry. They win the $1 million. Don Callis family come to celebrate. They grab the money. They're walking the Bucks to the back. It's like new members. But in the background, the rest of the family is beating up Kenny Omega and twisting his ankle and trying to injure him. The Bucks are conflicted, though they want the money. They run back down to the ring. They start super kicking the Dallas family, run them off. And though it takes a minute, do reconcile with Kenny and Jurassic Express, and they all walk back to Battle Cry, and Kenny hobbles away because his ankle is hurt. Like a real seller, he fell down whenever he was trying to walk down the entrance ramp because he's a real pro wrestler.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elite lore in 2025,
I can't get that upset about it because this is exactly what I said.
Apparently,
Skip
they were
right
going
to
to turn
it.
face
I
a
mean, it's
while
better than
back,
them dragging it on
but
for
then they
another
decided to
pay-per-view
do the
cycle.
Broke Bucks gimmick, which I do
Yeah.
think has been fun.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad we got a little bit of it.
Yeah, I am glad that Broke Bucks is over, but I do. As much as people like to make fun of it, I am kind of here for Elite lore in 2025, or at least just seeing them back together. That's Kenny Omega is very important to me, and the Elite as a team is very important to me, as it becomes increasingly obvious that Kenny especially is winding his career down. Probably, I don't imagine we'll be seeing him much longer than maybe a year. I think spending that time with his the co-founders of the company and the people that you can tell he really wants to work with and to spend his remaining time on TV with. I think that's a great little potential wrap on the in-ring AEW career of Kenny Omega if he so chooses to do that. I don't want to speculate too hard, but just as entertaining as the Bucks are as heels, I think they've done just about everything that they can do in this current iteration of their heel work. So it's about time, I think, that they got back to just being flashy.
I agree. I do think there was very few
good Christian boys from
especially with
Rancho Cucamonga.
If you're gonna have them. I don't really want to see another FTR Bucks match, but you can't really. It wouldn't make sense. I know. But it wouldn't make sense for them to go to the Callis family, where they would definitely be forced or want to pursue the tag team titles and do a heel versus heel FTR and Bucks match. But yeah, so we move on to the semi-main event: Mercedes Moné, the Ultimo Moné, 13 belts Moné, TBS Women's Champion, versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship. We had Mercedes do the Mercedes entrance with all the men oiled up and holding her belts, especially that one very jacked black guy. Someone
the dude that
was,
should be the AEW World
this
Champion
looks
right
like
now.
If Don Callis got a painting commission of Stokely.
Yeah, I saw him.
But yeah, she comes out of the ring, very good gear. She's ready to fight. And then Chris Statlander had one of the coolest entrances of the year, coming down from space to have the pyro explode.
I love that
ship
Kristen entrance.
cratered.
It was so goofy.
Barrel rolls out of the ship, comes down, does the alien pose. And this was a very good match. These two are very good together, is what I have to say. This is one that I want to go back on a rewatch because I did watch almost all of it, but it was very much at the start as we were starting this podcast, so I was half paying attention. But I want you to lead the conversation on this one, Coop.
This was a fantastic match. I nearly, maybe, possibly, depending on if I go back and rewatch it, maybe a match of the year contender for me. And more importantly, though, I think a great capstone to the trilogy now of matches between Chris and Mercedes. They were made for each other. So the start of this match and the main theme that really played through pretty much all of it was Mercedes taking out Chris's arm very early into the match. Chris did such a good job of selling it. I legitimately thought that maybe something was up until they started doing big spots again. At which point I was like, okay, no, this is intentional. And yet Mercedes just getting these little hits in, throughout the match, and being the comparison that I saw at one point was like she's like a mosquito in the way that she wrestles sometimes. Like, she'll just get like a little like annoying kind of like sting in, and then walk away for a bit and get taken out for a bit, and then come back in for another little sting and all that sort of stuff. And the way that translates into matches like these is those meteoras that she hits, which look like death. There's one incredible one on the outside where she came in from off camera as Aubrey was checking in on Stat. But yeah, so then once they get back in the ring though, and seeing Stat in the less dominant position here with her arm out and having to get creative and kind of find ways to hit all of her signature offense with one arm, I thought was really fun to watch, and made me invested in this match in a way that I always thought that I would be into it because I loved their first two so much. But I didn't quite know what like the story was going to be. But then just seeing it play out, I thought made me more invested as I was watching. So absolutely give this one a watch or a rewatch even if you've seen it already. And having this through line now of Mercedes not being able to capture the women's title, I think is an interesting wrinkle, and I'm very intrigued to see how, if at all, that will affect her character going forward. If maybe we get some more hints of paranoia or insecurity. I am a sucker for a good insecure heel. As we've seen with Hyon in DPW and a couple of other former champions or people cursed by the championship gold in recent months and years. And I'm sure that Mercedes, the performer that she is, can carry that kind of character off wonderfully. So
yeah, especially like right now, she's so overconfident. She has so many belts. She's won everywhere. But to know that, like, even with all this gold and all this noise, she just isn't the best. Like she just cannot win the big one, no matter how many belts she wins. I think it's such a good wrinkle, and I'm hoping after like this will cause the
it's
eventual.
Such a good. it's such a good wrinkle. It could almost maybe turn her face after a while.
Yes, I agree. And I almost want to see her, like, again, she has so many belts in the indies. I don't know how she's going to lose them all. I feel like she's going to relinquish a lot of them. But I would like
she's not taking 13 losses to nobodies in Scotland and Austria.
She's definitely going to lose that Rev Pro one, I think.
Rev Pro for sure. That's fine.
But I would like to see her, like, just go on a huge losing streak. And again, I doubt she loses all these belts. But, like, lose a lot of them and just eventually be forced to work her way up until eventually working her way to that title. You know, kind of losing her face and stuff like that. And, you know, finally having that triumphant moment of getting that world title. If she ever does. Or maybe she never will. That would also be kind of hilarious. She doesn't, again, Mercedes isn't a wrestler that necessarily needs it because she has so many accolades already and is already going to be, she's already the best women's wrestler of the last 10, 15 years, if you look at the scope of that. You know, for America at least. I wouldn't say for worldwide, but I would definitely say an American wrestler.
She has slimmer competition in America.
Yeah. It's definitely debatable, you know, if you go worldwide. But I think in America, especially for American companies, what she's been able to do in both AEW and WWE is insane. And that's what the company not believing in her in WWE. So, but yeah. We then move on to the main event of the evening. And, boys, I think it's time for us to join the Ops Dojo.
Well, seemingly anybody can, including a Shane Gillis impersonator.
Yes, true. Maybe we...
Is that true? Did you just make that up?
No, there was a guy who did look like Shane Gillis.
No, but I meant...
I swore to God. I don't know if he was Shane Gillis.
Everyone on Twitter was calling him Shane Gillis, so it's gonna be me, Jack Cooper, and El Hijo del Generico joining the Ops Dojo. But Samoa Joe versus Hangman Adam Page for the AEW Men's World Championship in a steel cage. Joe comes out, looks cool as ever with the Ops. Hangman comes out to American Venom from Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right.
Cooper, I can see your little grin. Go ahead.
My little nerdy heart grew the 3 sizes that day. I have been in my head imagining a Hangman Page American Venom like edit for a while. And so seeing him come out to it was like just so perfectly aligned in my head. But yeah, so normally I'm not super into all this like video game cosplay shit that a lot of modern wrestlers are doing these days. Like their big entrances. And
Will Ospreay.
Mr. Ospreay, as SEO Ettore says it. Yeah, like that stuff. I mean, I get it. Whatever. I would probably do the same thing if I was a wrestler. But you know, it's so much these days. This one, American Venom, as the entrance music. It works on a couple of different levels. One, it just sounds like a Hangman Page theme. You know, it's that spaghetti western kind of, you know, Morricone ripoff that Ghost Town Triumph and his other the Black Hat heel theme is. But within, if you know Red Dead Redemption 2, the game that it comes from. So it's the song that plays in the final mission of that game, also called American Venom, where the protagonist of the game, Arthur Morgan, who is this bedraggled old cowboy that is part of this gang, he is going to hunt down his old gang partner and the man who sold them out, Micah, who's been off hiding in the mountains somewhere, and he's going to track him down, and he's going to introduce him to some lead. So, it's a fantastic sequence, and really, really stuck with a lot of people. But seeing him come out to this, I knew instantly that he was going to lose, because spoiler alert for Red Dead Redemption 2, Arthur Morgan dies at the end of that game, pretty unceremoniously. Just gets fucking, lets the elements take him.
This is
and
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was. And so seeing Hangman come out to this, I was like, oh, it's the the last stand. It's the the old gunslinger, taking on this last challenge. That he's going to be too slow on the draw. And sure enough, I was right.
This is also what I call the if you ever have a wrestler who is a champion and they get a special theme song entrance, like a licensed theme, I call this this is what I want to lose, Mark. You saw it with the Guns when they got Mini-Men before dropping the titles immediately to FTR. Hangman's like, Tony's like, hey, about that long Ace title run, we're going to have you lose. And he's like, well, then you better give me American Venom by Red Dead right now or I'm not dropping the title.
Sure.
Yeah. This match, I mean, if the finish wasn't so shoddy, might have been a match of the year because, brother.
Hey, I'll say this, right? The only reason that people, I think, are upset about this finish genuinely, like really, if they're not like, just psychotic Hangman fans, which whomst amongst us, right? But the only reason I think that people can genuinely have to be upset about this is that it's
no, and I agree. I think if Hook was a hotter character, it'd be different. But it's like, yeah, Hook's cooled off so much, so it's like, but I don't mind it because like I just like Samoa Joe with the world title, and I also like the idea that Hangman.
Yeah, nobody should be complaining about that. That I think
people are complaining that Hangman's reign was too short, but people don't realize it's not about the quantity of the reign; it's about the quality of the reign. And sometimes when you hit a perfect roadblock, it's fine for people to lose a title. Because I do
think I agree with what all y'all are saying, that it's not remotely a big deal. At the same time, I do agree with what some people are saying. This is indicative of the idea that like Hangman isn't the top guy of AEW, like sort of the internet has always wanted him to be.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if that's true though.
You don't think so?
Not particularly. I mean, like, I will say this: was there maybe more legs to this reign? Yes, I think so. But that's true of every title reign, really, when you get down to it.
Okay.
But what is important is what kind of story are you trying to tell, and how effectively does this angle do that? The story that they're trying to tell right now is that Joe, having come off of the loss from the last show, has strategized and become meaner and it has reached back into his very old, like not even just old in AEW terms, like this is like ROH champ Joe kind of levels of just grittiness and violence and stuff like that, and becomes a real monster to deal with. And he's got now a whole dojo full of ops to help him, and clearly, and then Swerve, spoiler alert by the way, Swerve comes back at the end of this match, and he is obviously going to be a big part in the title plans moving forward. Maybe he'll be the first defense. I don't know if that's going to be the case though. But like the last shot of this show is Swerve and Hangman standing side by side together. Like, so I think it is abundantly clear that they still want to keep Hangman in the title scene, in the main event picture. Like, I think if anything, it shows that the people that AEW view as being the top guys, plural, the main characters of this show is Paige, Swerve, and when he comes back, Ospreay. I think that's going to be your main scene moving forward. Joe,
MJF.
Oh, who am I missing? Yes, sure. I had not really considered. I mean, I've seen some people throwing that around too. I'm not going to speculate too much about that until I see something definitive, really. But and I'm sure he'll be a big deal in the title scene when he comes back. But yeah, but the Joe, or not even Joe taking, but just the decision to have this Hangman run and now as opposed to later, I don't think says anything about his placement in the company moving forward.
My thing is, like, people are like,
that's my spiel.
Oh, they don't see him as the guy because they don't give him a long reign. It's like he's had 2 world title runs and he beat Jon Moxley, who, if you want to put in on the stats of who's the guy in AEW, that guy is the guy. You know, he's won the world title 3 times. He is literally called the ace in the company, and he's the one who's beaten him multiple times. And also, I mean, the first run, the thing was, though it was decently long, it was the way it ended with Punk and Brawl Out, and that really soured people, and what happened after with Hangman kind of feeling directionless, but for a while there. But, like, I think if it wasn't for that, and if it was booked a little bit better, I don't think people would have been complaining too much about the guy. My thing is, like, it's not, and what a lot of people have been, like, messed up about in wrestling is, like, yes, every once in a while there should be a long run, a long chase, but that shouldn't be all the time. And at the same time, it shouldn't be hot potato titles all the time because, again, that doesn't help either way. But, again, sometimes you hit a perfect brick wall. It was like, we have Joe here. He has a group versus Hangman's none. You know, he obviously knows he can't beat Hangman. He couldn't beat him alone the last time. And he has the ops outside the cage. He's going to find a way to get them involved. And they did, and that was the cost of the title. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Hangman just wins this world title back. They don't even do, like, a long Joe reign like they did last time. And they run Hangman and Swerve.
Yeah, that's an option too.
You know, or they have Swerve face Joe again, get the number one contendership, and they run that. But the blade job that Samoa Joe ran in this match, I mean, it looked like there was a divot in his head. It was.
Yeah, he got like perfectly sliced down the middle.
I mean, we've had some crazy blade jobs, this whole blood and guts, like last week and a half, and this might be number 1. This is definitely the O'Reilly one, and the Sky Blue one are all mental, but like, yeah, it looks brutal, bad, and that's part of.
And like by the time that it ended, like he looked like a monster, like a horror movie monster, like, you know, holding on to the belt, and that's the image that you want.
And I really love just how mean this match was, and the way they used the cage, and Hangman using his boot just kick him right in the face for that early part where he was dominating, and you know, I thought the finish was fine. I know a lot of people don't like Hook, but like my thing is like it's a means to the end of getting Samoa Joe the world title, and it's like Joe at this age shouldn't just be straight up beating Hangman, you know, especially not in a cage where he's already gotten beaten before. So I like seeing the out involved. Exactly.
Well, and Hangman had him beat after that Deadeye. I mean, he had him down for a 5 count.
I like the interference finish in giving Joe the world title. I think it's interesting. I didn't hear the Swerve theme, so I heard it's 2 packs of but you have to tell me that.
Oh yeah, no, they gotta bring Flash garments back, buddy.
I tell you what,
it was rough out there.
During Swerve's injury, he's been eating some of Aunt May's wheat cakes. Bro is bulked up.
Boy, has he. Boy, has he.
It is very funny because people saw the images of him and they said, I better not ever see this man do a somersault again. And then all the clips of him in the brawl is him doing the somersault to the Ops Dojo guys. Yeah. I'm letting you know, if they put, I'm sure they will put those shirts in Shop AEW. And if they have a Black Friday deal, I might buy all three of us the Ops Dojo shirt to wear.
Yeah. That strongest style is never lacking.
Yeah.
who would of each of the core three Ops, not counting Hook, who would we each be? I feel like Jack's definitely Shibata.
Sure.
The question is, which one is one is me and you as Joe, and which one's Powerhouse Hobbs?
I feel like this is dangerous territory for three white guys.
That is true. You know, that's a good thing. I'll be Hook. Be Hook, the one white guy in the group.
Sure. I'll be the Shane Gillis impersonator. How about that?
I think that's a good trio.
Shibata, Hook, and the Shane Gillis impersonator. But yeah, that's how we end AEW Full Gear. I really love the shot of Hangman laying down when Swerve first got to the ring, bloodied. I think the shot of them two.
And he's got those crazy eyes now.
Yes. But yeah, it's Mojo's champ. Joe Holbert tweeted out a very funny thing like a week ago where he said scenes when FTR and Samoa Joe end the pay-per-view as world champions, and it was like British people singing or something like that, and everyone's like, that's never gonna happen, keep dreaming. If that happens, that would ruin everything. And then like the quote tweet at the end of the night was like, it was a great night for the lads, great show all around, you know. Like but sometimes Tony Khan just books for him, you know. I do feel like
me.
Tony Khan just picks like one fan. He's like, I'm booking the show for you tonight. And just remember, no matter how good the Hangman is, he will never be good as 2000's ROH.
I mean, what is?
It's true. I mean, I think he has a losing record all time versus, or like it's like a tie, because he beat Joe once, he's beat Brian once, he's beat Daniels, but he lost to Punk, he's lost to Joe, he lost to Punker, he's lost to Joe, he's lost to Brian, and he's tied. Brian once, so he's like 3-3-1. So
yeah. Oh, he beat Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, I said that.
So there you go.
I added that on the list.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, I didn't hear.
He retired Christopher Daniels. That's who I can think of. I hope I'm not missing anybody crazy. But yeah. With that being said, I think it's time to hit the outro.
All right.
Thank you.
In the books.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Strongest Style on Nothing, on all your podcast players of choice. This is it for our episode, but we'll be back next week with a couple hours of rousing wrestling content. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow me at @LoganHurston on Twitter. You can follow Jack at Average Darth. Cooper doesn't have any social medias. But Cooper, any last words?
I, for one, would like to welcome our new King of Television overlord.
You can follow us on all your podcast players of choice, Apple, Spotify, all that jazz. We will see you guys later. Goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang.